Hello and welcome to Dicepunks, a tabletop role-playing podcast where we focus on playing full campaigns in less well-known systems, but where some weeks we do also make time for a quick one-shot. This is one of those weeks. We're playing Extreme Meatpunks Forever. Hello and welcome. I'm Drew, your meaty neighborhood game meatster, and joining me are...
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'll be playing Radagonda, a self-described velvety polyamorous pansexual nightmare who once conflated goth with gothic.
I'm Dez, and I will be playing Bill Cunningham, a quiet pocket goth boy who avoids the sun where it exists because it burns him.
I'm Robin, and I'll be playing Viz, who is red. The deep red of hungry suns, of crushed exoskeletons, of acrid chemical dye.
That probably already gives you a flavor of where we're headed, but a few quick notes, dear listener, on what the hell you're about to hear. Extreme Meatpunks Forever is a system by Heather Flowers and Belle, with rules built on top of the Powered by the Apocalypse system. The setting was introduced in Heather's Extreme Meatpunks Forever video games. The tabletop RPG you're about to hear and that we're about to play is actually not published yet. Huge thanks to Heather and Aura, as well as to Ollie over at Sinister Beard Games for giving us a chance to try it out, and thereby to share it with you. The least we can do in exchange is tell you that you can pre-order the game now at meatpunksrpg.com if it seems like your thing. This is a pretty rules This is a pretty rules light setting. As we generally tend to favor around here, moves are kind of the atomic unit of what happens. If it makes sense in the story for a move to be invoked, we'll explain which one is being invoked. Our players will roll basically 2d6, although sometimes they are rolling advantage or disadvantage, so they could in fact be rolling 3. And they may, if they roll well, take what are called holds, which are essentially things they can spend later to have prepared for a situation, to gain some sort of advantage, etc. If that sounds sort of open-ended, that's because it is. That's the idea. It is a system that welcomes the kind of expressive storytelling we like to do around here. I can safely say that a content warning is in order for body horror, dysmorphia, dismemberment, political violence, and gore. Do know, however, that we have no intention of being edgelords about any of that stuff. The goal is to be truthful. The goal is to have a good time. Any questions from our players before we fully introduce ourselves to Meatworld?
I think you have done an admirable job of prepping us to fly by the seat of our pants into this, but I also have had the advantage of reading through a different Powered by the Apocalypse system before this, so...
Yeah, I've played an entire campaign in a different Apocalypse system, so...
Okay.
I'm new, and I will be the means through which a lot of the rules are shared.
But, I thank you, and I bet the listener thanks you, so that is no bad thing, let me say right now. All right, so with all of that being said, welcome, players and listeners, to Meatworld. There are two things that you would need to know going in, but that all of our player characters would certainly know, would in fact take for granted. First, anything that you, the listener, might expect to be a machine of metal or plastic, engine or circuitry running on fossil fuels or electricity, here is made of flesh and bone and runs on blood. Second, as Des alluded to, the sun is gone. Don't worry about it. In its place, we have the bright, an artificial sky that provides its own sort of day-night cycle, perfectly functional except when it isn't, and quite beautiful even when it's terrifying. You'll know something about what happened to the sun and about the nature of the bright if you've played either or both of the Meatpunks video games, but it's not a given that all, or even most, or even many people in Meatworld know those things, so right now, let's leave it there. As we join this story, for a few days now, the radios have been all fucked up. No good music coming through, no plays, no serials, no emergency signals on the frequencies usually reserved for them. Instead, just a whole lot of fash shit. Their terrible music and their endless talking and the telltale crackle of a jammed signal. Whoever's doing the wave jacking is jamming every frequency. Fucked up. Also wildly illegal, but to the surprise of basically no one, the cops don't seem to be doing anything about it. Today, though, things have been breaking through. A guitar part you recognize here, a familiar Wrestle Queen's voice there. That's a good sign, maybe, so our 3 Meatpunks do have one of their radios on as they set up camp for the night, just outside of Angel City. It's close to Brightfall. Look up and you'll see a firmament like a bruise, turning from red to purple to blue, streaked with a worrisome green. Look around and you'll see low hills and lower shrubs, mountains in the distance, bald and broken above the tree line, and fire everywhere. This part of Cali, like most parts of Cali, is on fire this time of year, like most times of year. Flames smolder low and smokeless on the dry, wide ground, and they tower high in thin shafts like candles that twitch and contort against the bright. The real ragers, like the mountains, are off in the distance, looming like memories or threats. The spot our 3 Meatpunks have found is damn good. It's defensible, if it comes to that, and with plenty of distance between them and the nearest plume of flame. So, what I think my first question for you is, what would each of you be doing as you're setting up camp? Not too close to the fire, around Brightfall on this particular night. Maybe we'll start with Redaganda.
Well, I'm certainly keeping an ear out for the radio. If things have started to break through the jamming and the fash shit, I would definitely be trying to keep an ear out for it. But I'm definitely also trying to make sure that camp gets set up. Not so much because I don't think that my companions know what they're doing, but that I think they're maybe a little distractible at times. And so I'm probably busying myself with mundane tasks and maybe muttering to myself about what I'm hearing on the radio for the most part.
To interrupt, you may actually be directing Bill some.
Happily.
And if we were to see you doing so, directing Bill, doing these mundane tasks, what sort of person would we see?
Sort of on the short side, on the heavy set side, thick, glossy, dark hair that has clearly been straightened to within an inch of its life. Lot of makeup and accessories, which is probably showing road wear, especially the makeup, but that does not stop me. I am shooting for at least my own idea of perfect goth. So in various different places, kind of a hodgepodge of leather, lace, grommets, reds, blacks, dark purples, corsets, skirts, fishnets, but no spikes because they're not comfy enough. If you look closely enough, I've got red eyes. They're really, truly my natural color. I promise. Don't ask about it. So it's personal.
Sure, and I didn't mean to throw away the perfect transition you gave me. You're perhaps directing Bill. Bill, what are you being directed to do? What are you up to?
Mostly I think I'm being kept on task because, honestly, this is all just a really fascinating and immersive recurring daydream or hallucination. I live in Vancouver. The sun exists there. What the fuck is this place?
Bill, please. Stack the firewood further from the fire. We don't want to have two fires.
Right. Sorry, Rad.
It's all. It's good. It's good. Just thanks for getting the firewood.
Yep.
Thanks.
Describe Bill for me. Bill's from Vancouver, you say?
Yeah. Vancouver. In Washington. It's a city. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Sure. It does. You're implying that it doesn't, for example, have vast fields of ever-burning flame. Just as one example of something that Bill is remarking upon in his quizzical way.
Yeah, it's a city.
Sure.
Like, there are apartment buildings and a sky, and people live there and go to work.
Not much else to say. Sure.
I'm a little bit weird, because I can do, it probably counts as magic, sort of. But, yeah. Also, I believe I have one beginning of session thing.
You do. I was just about to bring that up. If you would roll 2 dice and then add your chill stat, which is 2.
Yes. That is a 10.
A 10, which means you got a 12. So that is
No,
just
that was 10 net.
Oh, gotcha. 10 net. Okay. That's still quite good. So you basically get 2 holds. This will be the first instance of this happening. This is actually a good question for the listener. Do we read out what the possibilities were? I think these are really just examples. So in this case, I will. This will give you a flavor of what's to come. So the kinds of things Bill could now hold would be to magically circumvent a barrier or obstacle at some point later, to prevent an ambush by magical awareness, get a few seconds prep time, or resolve some status for anyone who isn't him.
For the listener, the ability is wizard.
It's just called wizard.
Just-
It's just called wizard. No, you make a good point. I did want the listener to know what the possibilities were, or what some of the possibilities were, but you don't have to commit. You have those holds.
Right.
You use them when the time is
right. And for the listener's further edification, if I had done poorly on the roll, my summary of on a miss, bad fucking luck comes to find me.
Right. So that will not be happening, at least not right now.
At least not right now, at least not because of this.
Sure, that's a reasonable point. Yeah.
To segue back slightly to the introductions,
Please do.
Bill is a shortish, skinny-ish, ginger white dude who dresses in blacks and dark reds and purples in a different flavor of goth from Rad, but has definitely imprinted on Rad sort of like a duckling. Because this place that clearly can't exist because there is no sun, and what is all of this meaty nonsense? Like, it's just an elaborate hallucination as far as Bill is concerned, and Rad is apparently there to guide him, even though she doesn't seem to relish the chore. He appreciates it, though.
Well,
Very good.
and I'd never admit it, but the being depended on in that way is flattering.
Well, how about Viz? What is Viz up to? Right
Speaking of being easily distracted, I suspect this is going to be my only opportunity this session to use this move. So I'm going to find myself a nice little seat and contemplate where the sun used to be.
All right. So let me find which move that is supposed to be. I should have had that ready.
I can do that for you.
Yeah, okay. You're rad.
So
Yeah?
if I have
What?
time and solitude to stare at the sky, I can pull information from what lies beyond it.
There
So I'm
you
going to
go.
roll chill, and on a hit, I can ask you one question about the current escapades and plans. On over 10, I'll get a clear answer. 7 through 9, I'll get a cryptic riddle answer. On a miss, I have to reveal something personal to the cosmos. And somehow, somewhere, a threat knows it.
These are all interesting possibilities. Some you clearly want more than others. So yeah, let's get that roll.
All right. Let me scroll back up to chill, which is +2 in this case. I rolled a 5, so that's +2 is going to put me right at a 7.
Well, you don't have to reveal your secrets to the cosmos.
Yeah.
That's for the best.
Maybe.
Or is it? Probably. It's probably for the best.
Deeply
So
unclear.
you can still ask a question. You can still ask a question, but
Mhm.
you will get a cryptic riddle answer of one kind or another.
I suppose the best question to ask is where these radio signals are coming from.
They come from all over, and from people who should not have the power to send them, and whose power, if taken away, would be replaced by other, worse powers. But mostly they come from one place, as well as from several.
I was really expecting you to just answer, they come from the electromagnetic spectrum.
Yeah.
That would have been good too. That would have been good too. The fountain of words, though, perhaps puts you in mind of your life coach, who you may or may not have spoken to this evening.
Yeah, I definitely reflect on my life coach, because that sounds very much like the advice that they would give me on a regular basis.
Remind me, are you in your mech right now?
I don't.
As you reflect?
Are any of us in our mechs right now?
That's sort of up to you. There could presumably be making camp tasks that would be easier with a large meat mech.
Well, we had decided that I am functionally, permanently in
attached,
my
sure.
mech.
That's true.
Functionally, though, I also have that particular quirk in a different form. Functionally, I am not. I am doing fine motor skills tasks as a squishy, smaller human being rather than a squishy, larger meat mech.
I prefer to be in my mech, so let's say I am.
All right. Well, then as you reflect upon your life coach, you hear your life coach, who says, "Hello. Just wanted to remind you that the deal is still on. Wanted to remind you that have not forgotten the deal. That am incapable of forgetting the deal, actually, by nature. Am finding it impossible to use first-person pronouns, probably a good sign. The self dissolves. Become one. And now, some advice. People say that everything happens for a reason. This is not true. Everything happens for a minimum of 5 reasons. Have a good evening."
Good night, life coach. Immensely helpful.
So, this is probably a good time, dear listener, to explain that meat mechs exist. Here in Meat World, people have made use of what they have. They don't really have as much metal as we do, not by a wide margin. So as I said, most tech is made of meat. And perhaps the crowning achievement of metallurgy is the meat mech. And indeed, each of our 3 punks is in possession of a very fine one. We'll perhaps we'll save a detailed description for a bit later. When the moment arises, they would probably just be hulking shapes at this particular moment as Brightfall comes on. So the mechs are hulking shapes, camp is taking shape. And just as things begin to settle down, the radios crackle more than before. More is coming through. You recognize a voice from a serial, you recognize music, and then the distress signals start coming through. And one of them contains a voice that Radaganda immediately recognizes, even if she can't quite place it. These radios are two-way. You could, if you were so inclined, answer the call.
I'm already moving. I have dropped the firewood perilously close to the fire, despite my earlier admonition to Bill.
I dutifully move it out of the way, like I was instructed.
Yeah. And I dash over to the radio to begin fiddling in order to try to respond.
As you approach, you're hearing distorted. Hello. This is Olivia. Masdita, Meatpunks. Are there any punks out there? I shouldn't be saying this on the radio. God, is anyone there? Can anyone hear me?
Assuming that I am able to successfully dial it in without any complications, I'll respond, Olivia. Oh, Radaganda. I have a small team. Gosh, where are we? Not too far away. What do you need?
Wait, Radaganda? From Norland? From that one show? That guy's face that'll never be the same? Good job there, by the way. Is that really you?
In the flesh, or not where you are, but here. Sorry, I'm making a hash of this. What do you need?
No, this is the best possible outcome. You're close, you said? So, okay, couple of days now, this place, the whole town has been overrun with assholes. I mean, some of them are clearly fash, but some of them aren't. They're just like bad in a more general way, and we need help. It's too many. There's no way that we can take care of them ourselves. I'm not even sure what's going on. I don't know if they're a threat or if they're just real fucking annoying, but it's troublesome. The cops are clearly with them, which is never a good sign.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have, and at this, I kind of turn and look at, my companions and their mechs, or I look at Bill and his mech, and I look at Viz's mech, containing Viz, and I say, well, there are 3 of us, and we all have mechs.
That's the best news I've heard all night. Okay, Mastita, you're not very far. You said, where did you say you are? Where are you?
Fire. Goodness. Quickly out of character, you had said not far from Angel City.
Angel City.
Yeah, so I'll relay at that. We're not too far from Angel City. I'm not.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You due west. Just due west. Avoid the plumes of eternal flame as best you can.
Always do.
Yeah. Oh, you've always had your head on straight. God, I can't wait to see you. Yeah, just get over here. I can't promise that you'll get a warm welcome from anyone but me, but hopefully that's good enough.
Listen, a warm welcome from you is worth it.
For the record, you hear the sound of a person melting on the other end of it. So I'm gonna say that you would you be setting off, let's say, in the morning after a night's rest?
Yeah, I would probably try to establish that to be like,
yep.
It's almost bright fall. Even with the fires, I don't know how well we'd move, at night. Do you think we can wait until morning, or is it like, do we need like emergency intervention?
No, there's no emergency. There's just, I don't know. There's no emergency yet. Get some sleep. Come by tomorrow.
All right. Well, if I get there and you're hurt, then well, I was gonna say I'll take it personally, but that's not helpful. So just try to stay safe.
Always do. Well, that's a lie. But I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Sort of get
all right. So
be like, man, I'm out of practice, and then turn to see what my companions are doing.
Yeah.
The firewood is stacked perfectly, and any other task that I had off-screen been given is accomplished to approximately like 95% satisfaction.
Oh, thanks, Bill. That real helpful. Sorry to abandon you partway through. That was
you're fine. I managed to not get distracted.
Yeah.
I'm going to invoke, just because it seems funny, that I say distracted.
Let's note that has implications because when Bill speaks, one cannot help but listen. It is sort of up to Redeganda exactly what that means in this case, but there is a hypnotic quality in a totally non-metaphorical sense to when Bill says things out loud.
Sure. So I think I pause for a second and I go, distracted, and I sort of like start looking around with a little bit of a look of consternation on my face, and then after about like 2-3 legato seconds, blink and go, oh god damn it, Bill. It's fine.
I'm sorry. I'll
no, I know.
I'll be
I know.
quiet.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. No harm done. I'm almost done with the tents, and then we should probably get some rest because we're gonna probably haul ass tomorrow. So
Bill nods.
Are the tents large enough for a mech?
Absolutely not.
I figured that would be the answer, but I wanted to ask.
In fact, a careful observer might note that I am trying really hard not to look like I am casting surreptitious, meaningful glances in the direction of Viz's mech while I am talking about the tents, because I don't want to say anything, and I'm like real sympathetic, but also I don't know if Viz is actually going to get out of the mech or not. So I'm kind of trying to gauge, what's going on here.
Does Viz ever sleep in their mech? Does that have precedent?
Probably. Yes. Okay. However, because of company.
Sure.
I recognize that it is a thing that's seldom done.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to like make a thing out of it, but I'm also kind of like trying to ascertain what to expect.
Well, then am I right in assuming that you settle down for the evening in one form or another?
I disembark from the mech.
All right.
I try
Bill, one
not to
more
look
question, I
relieved.
suppose.
Hmm?
As you begin to settle down, where is Smallvarther?
Smallvarther is, and has always and at all times been, curled up slightly uncomfortably for me across both of my shoulders.
The listener is invited to picture in this configuration some manner of dragon. Bill, describe Smallvarther a little bit.
Smallvarther is approximately 25 pounds of dragon with appropriate claws and so on. Fortunately, he fits the usual color scheme of, variegated blacks and reds and so on. There are claws and teeth and occasionally fire, but he likes me.
Does he make sense to you? Is he from Vancouver or is he from whatever this weirdness is?
He makes sense to me. He's part, he is part of the world. He is. We are each other's.
Yeah.
And we both know that we are to treat each other well because sometimes the world just doesn't make sense.
A question I didn't think to ask and establish when we were setting all of this up. How does Smallvarther feel about me? What have our interactions been like?
He is pleased when you are patient with Bill. I think you get the impression that that he understands why you might occasionally not be patient with Bill. But that still doesn't always make him happy. You can, obviously decide the other half of that.
Sure. So yeah, as we're settling down for bed, I'm going to be trying to make sure that Viz has everything they need and is comfortable without seeming like it means that much to me. And then before I retire to my tent, I'll say to Bill, "Night, Bill. Thanks for your help. Is Smallvarther in the mood for a little goodnight head scratch?" And look really hopeful.
Smallvarther will slide off of Bill's shoulders and poke his head out of the tent, hopefully, as well.
And yeah, I'll reach out and give like 3 or 4 real gentle but sort of carefully controlled, excited head scratches, and then try not to bounce.
There is a small reptilian trill in response as the head retreats into the tent. Bill has said nothing since, distracting everyone.
Possibly for the best. And Viz, as you're nodding off, you hear echoing in your head, at least 5 reasons. The night passes without incident, and let's say you depart on the morrow. Anything in particular you would discuss with each other en route to Masdida?
I mean, in a vacuum, I would probably try to describe, broad strokes, what I know of Olivia and of Angel City and the situation that we're heading into, all of which is probably actually not that much. But it helps me feel like I'm being helpful. So I'd probably try to stretch as much as I can.
Yeah, what do you know about Olivia? You met at a show in Norland where you're from. You beat the shit out of a couple of fash at the show. She's originally from the Eternal Glade, specifically Fort Murderdale. And that may be about the extent of it.
Yeah. I probably cover the fash bashing at the show like 3 or 4 times from different angles because I start to realize that I'm out of material, and that's by far the coolest part. Yeah.
I latch on to that part of the story in particular. I look inscrutable behind my round rose-colored glasses that are always perched on my nose, and my mouth in a uniform but slightly upturned smile, and ask, "So how badly was their flesh destroyed?"
Well, these things tend to get a little exaggerated in the telling, but we fucked him up.
Broken bones? Torn sinew?
Well, nose definitely broken.
Mm.
Sinew, how much sinew is in faces? Probably some, right? So a little bit of torn sinew, I think. Yeah, let's go with some torn sinew. Mostly it was localized to the facialer region, so you can kind of, but it wasn't like lethal, I don't think, so.
Faces are such strange things, don't you think?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, they're kind of a person's identity, and they're surprisingly fragile, as that fucker found out, right? Yeah, they're weirdly fragile, aren't they? And I far away look in my eyes.
Well, presumably, at some point in the proceedings, it makes more sense to go by mech than by foot. So maybe this is a good time to at least broad strokes describe, again, what someone would see in a more zoomed out view in this case, walking down the highway. And perhaps let's go in reverse order. Viz, what would someone see as you're in your mech?
So most meat mechs are primarily humanoid-ish. Viz's isn't. It's a churning mess of thickly grained, marbled flesh that can best be described as aborted carcinization. Has too many limbs, some of which appear to be bent backwards until motion reveals those are actually ankles, not knees. Forward-facing round eyes are too large for the dangling shape that constitutes its head. Those eyes seem fixed, resulting in the entire rubbery head appendage thing swinging whenever it turns its black, lifeless gaze to behold an unfortunate subject. The mouth is also too large on that, rode with sharp, spine-like teeth. The main thing is that it hurts to look at. Not only does it make uncomfortable clicks and clacks and moist pops and creaks with every movement, but it's literally glowing with sickly crimson lights, but from between tissue gaps. Looking at it kind of leaves a sort of afterimage, like staring directly into the sun, and it often takes a moment to realize that the effect is both visual and mental, as if it horribly shines on one's sanity as much as their eyes.
No one is there to see this spectacle, save the lizard or two. But that's quite an image, and it does, despite its strange locomotion, certainly locomote, and you are making fine pace down the highway. Bill.
William Cunningham is...
And I should say, if you wish to share your mech name, that is your prerogative, but we've been glossing over the part where you speak it and connect because it's a quite personal thing, and it is up to you. So if you're choosing to, that is all good.
William Cunningham is a vortex
like the man said.
of crusted tentacles, intestines, and other biological tubes, all surrounding a mouth? Well, sure, it must be a mouth. It's got teeth, after all. But they're glowing and oddly long. They're probably sharp, sure, but it seems like they, along with the truly luscious lips that protect the world from those teeth, mostly seem to be intended for containment. The mouth is not always visible, fortunately, and it doesn't often bite. The impressive muscular tentacle tubes writhe, wriggle, and crawl across the mass of themselves and each other and the ground with chaotic abandon. This entire edifice gives off a horrifying scent that is at once reminiscent of a well-cooked steak and the meaty aftermath of a lightning strike. If you get close enough, you, too, might hear the desperate sing-song inner monologue.
Once again, few are there to hear it. Few, if any, at this point, but thank you for that. And Radaganda.
So I'm gonna break a little bit here. I got really carried away with this part when I was making this character.
You say that having followed my paragraph.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I would love nothing more than to read the full page of italicized text that I've got here, but it would be a little bit much. So, compared to those previous two descriptions, Radagonda, I am in a relatively human-looking mech, and if it was standing still, you could maybe mistake it for like intentionally creepy sculpture of maybe some kind of stylized ballerina, like 15 feet tall, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, a torso. But the arms and legs are like the same length as each other, and they're all too long, and the joints are real bulbous and kind of bony. Everything seems to be made out of like this organic weaving of dark meat, and the thing smells like game being dressed and cleaned. It's very dense and sort of lissom, and it is probably the first thing most people would actually notice, but certainly not the first thing I notice when I look at it, is that around the shoulders and collarbone and top of the chest and back, it is covered in these eerie blue-violet flowers that have these sort of glowing lavender fibers that look like roots extending all the way down to like the tops of the thighs and about to the elbows of the mech. And probably the most arresting thing, if you're close enough to hear it, is that while the mech is in motion, the flowers giggle. It gets louder during acceleration and deceleration, and the footfalls don't make as much sound as they should, allowing you to hear this. And
I love that you've given your mech a tunic.
More or less. I think actually I wrote stole on the character sheet somewhere. In any case, if you're unfortunate enough to focus on the hands and feet, first of all, they don't look different from each other. And I believe the phrase that I used in my written description is they don't have hands and feet so much as floral wads of digits. This thing in motion is kind of stomach turning. The mech moves with this sort of very aphysical sort of rolling scurry, arms and legs interchanging. I will insist to any detractors that it is graceful, but it's hard to see.
Bill thinks it galumphs.
I think they're all graceful.
I kind of tended to ask, Bill, have you used that word to describe the movement to me?
Probably.
That was probably
one of the 3-day fight then?
Yeah, that was probably one of the colder receptions you've gotten to anything you've said to me, is when you described my mech as galumphing. I'm a little defensive about it.
That's fair. This rather unique combination of sights, sounds, and smells makes its way down the highway. And where before there were few, if any, and certainly no one human to bear witness, as you approach Masdida, you do start to notice something, a shape down the road. You're approaching it. It doesn't seem to be approaching you, but it is right in the middle of the road. As you get closer, it's definitely a mech. You're not sure what kind yet.
I am uncomfortable giving orders, but I am also used enough to these two to kind of
direct,
instinctively, feel like I need to be the one to say something. And hold up for a second. I am gonna imagine that may or may not be super friendly, so stick close, but don't say anything. I'm going to try and scope it out, and if we can talk to whoever's in there, maybe we won't have to get into an altercation. I overpronounce it.
Would this be the time that bedeviled skin crust activates? Says that at the beginning of the session, roll plus sinew. because my meat flesh has a goddamn devil inside of it.
That's true. You spoke to your devil, but we did not do that particular roll. So yes, let's do that.
Okay. And I believe I roll with advantage.
Would we have rolled to get into our
You do
meat
roll with
mechs?
advantage. Generally, yes. Yeah. No, go for it.
I said I was
This is a
assuming
collaborative
that we
process.
elided it because it wasn't under any particular duress, but
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, generally the roll is optional if you're not under any time pressure. Usually that roll is important if you need to take an immediate combat action. So we did skip it over in the interest of time, but good call out.
Yeah, I mostly bring it up because mine, if we do end up in combat, is combat useful.
Totally. So we can do that roll should combat occur.
Sure.
Okay.
Which I'm bending the rules, but hey, the rules were meant to be bent, as were the many limbs.
I believe
the many
it's
limbs on the
explicitly
highway.
stated in the book to do so, yes.
It is. It is.
So I rolled a 10 on the dice, +3 for my sinew stat, which is raised by powerful tendons. So that would be 13.
So a wild success.
Yeah,
let's
so
go ahead and
I
say.
get a hold, and I can eventually spend that hold to have my devil hex, or excuse me, my life coach hex another meat mech until the end of the brawl.
Reacting to this thought, you do hear your life coach simply say, "Today is going to be a good day. I can feel it.
day
The
is
thing
what
about the
we
single
make.
source, the day is what we make it. Chaos is an illusion. So is order."
I value your input.
We become one flesh.
We are one.
That's your devil's version of good morning, I think. Yeah.
I am not gonna lie. I would happily stand here for 3 to 4 hours just listening to a conversation between Viz and their life coach.
Yep. Yep.
Careful what you wish for. Okay.
Tune in next week for some life coach affirmations with your guest Viz.
Honestly, just occasionally, like, replace the normal outros with life coach.
Fair enough. Yes, so Bill, we will do your roll should it become combat relevant.
Lovely.
Otherwise we'll worry about that the next time you mech up. So Radaganda, you are approaching the strange mech.
Yeah. Is this like a figure shit out move, or am I just
This
kind
is
of
probably a figure shit out move, yeah.
all right. So
give me a roll if you would.
Is this something that one can
That's-
help on?
That is a good question. You can also try to figure shit out. You'll be at a different distance and you may get different sensory information, but if you would both like to roll and ask questions, you're very welcome to.
and
Sure.
remind me which of our stats that invokes.
That is plus
Attention.
attention.
For
Okay,
once, I did not
mine
go
is
for
-1.
Mine is 0,
An
but
8 though.
I rolled a 10, so
Okay, so we have a 7 and a 10.
No, I did the modifier already. It's an 8
gotcha.
after the -1.
it
Hey, oh, got it.
amounts to
Not that
saying.
that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Come to think
Is-
of it, it
is-
doesn't matter.
For the listener, the dice ranges for the ranges for results are 6 or fewer, 7 to 9, 10 plus.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. I thought I had already, but I probably haven't because there's a lot going on here. So thank you.
If you have, then they
Uh,
have it again.
Yeah, exactly. So you get to ask one question each.
All right. I
This
guess
has to be something you could learn from your senses, but of
Sure.
course, you've got those and you're also in a mech, so they're heightened in some way, perhaps.
Right. I guess since I'm in front, even though I got the lower roll, I'll ask my question first. Do I think this is a hostile?
As you get closer, it bears some of the hallmark signs of being a police mech. You also think you might espy a corporate logo on one of the mech's arms. It's sort of a parodically masculine, beefy arm, and it has the logo of the company of the world's richest person, actually, Elias Oakley Muskox. The logo is the first initial of a different guy who actually invented things. But anyway, this seems to be both an actual cop and some sort of corporate rent-a-cop, perhaps. Not great news.
Also,
Right.
for the record, I am imagining that the beefy arm you mentioned is in fact in the style of a Trogdor arm.
Yes.
I haven't noted any other appendages, so the listener, at least for the moment, is welcome to picture a single beefy arm in the style of Trogdor.
Consummate V's.
Consummate.
I said consummate.
So with a 10, I believe I get 2 questions, correct?
With the 10, you do get 2 questions.
And
That's
I
true.
must ask
You have
them
to ask them- you have to ask them in
simultaneously,
succession.
before they
Exactly.
are answered. So, is it aware of us, and what does it look to be doing?
It hasn't made any move toward you. It shows all signs of being aware that someone is coming down the road, and what it appears to be doing is waiting on the road to stop anyone who comes down the road.
Okay.
To do what? You couldn't say yet.
Sure.
Looks like it's waiting for us. If you want,
Uh,
Drew, declare when you want me to roll for the Hypnotoad effect.
that is well, sure. Yeah, if you want to roll for the effect, now would be as good a time as any. Go for it.
What would the roll be? I don't think it's stated.
That's a good point. Give me a moment to consult the great book. Great in all senses of the word. Just a moment here.
All right. I will mark
So
this.
you are going to give me one roll. It's going to be plus nerve. And what happens depends on how that goes.
Cool. So is this basically every time I speak then?
Essentially, yeah. Every time we elided the rule a little bit at camp because that was a friendly
Sure.
and jocular interaction. But when you mean business, yeah, we'll roll this every time.
Cool. 7. Net.
7. Okay, so what's going to happen is the next time you speak, the person will be distracted until someone acts against them.
Okay.
And you know this somewhere in you, so hang on to that knowledge.
How
Okay.
aware am I going to be of this dynamic, right? Like, am I going to be able to tell Bill, like, hey, hold off until I give you the signal, or is this just like I'm completely on the
That'd be
outside?
something you two would have worked out or not ahead of time, so I'd leave that to you two.
Yeah, I guess that question was actually for Dez.
Totally.
We've probably worked out an in-mech signal, and probably also hand signs, because I do this both in and out to the degree that I am ever out, which is
Out.
super weird since I am also always gay.
Yeah, so I probably am giving you like kind of a little bit of like an open palm, like, you know, wait on it, because my plan is to walk right up and just try and, you know, scoot past with minimal interaction, but I'm maybe not super optimistic.
You will get...
Yeah, there'd be nothing. There's sort of open plain on either side. There'd be nothing
Yeah.
physically stopping you from just getting off the road and walking around. However,
Yeah, I mean, my thought process, and this is a little bit of table talk because nobody else will necessarily know this. My thought process is if we walk around the cop, we probably invite confrontation. If we try to just be like, oh yeah, we're visiting a friend, then maybe we get waved through.
Plus, if we walk around the cop, then we'll have a cop at our back.
Right? True.
And don't forget, I have multiple abilities that are prepared to make them hallucinate violently.
I, as a player, will not forget that. I don't know how aware of that I am in character. As much as I like Viz, I am kind of scared of Viz.
I
Yeah,
think
and it is
you're
a fully-
aware of it then if you were afraid of them.
Yeah, that's fair
that may,
enough.
if that's the role playing decision, is that's part of the reason you're afraid. Is you're quite aware of that possibility.
Also,
that-
for
yeah.
reference, when you
Yeah,
give me the hand
absolutely.
signal, you get a sort of tentacular salute from the mech, which is as upsetting as it should be.
We need
And-
just
and
like
to-
wet spaghetti sounds for
Yeah,
Just
describe your-
macaroni and cheese stirring.
yeah.
As a brief aside, when we were planning this episode, I think we referred to it as an excellent one not to Foley.
Right. for what it's worth, and this is not something that anybody but me and the listeners, I guess, are going to know in character, that's the sort of thing that really endears Bill to me. This little tentacular slit, I'm like, oh, but like, inside the mech. So yeah, I'm gonna approach the cop mech, with as casual a demeanor as I possibly can, as though I've got nothing to worry about. I guess tell me if I need to use a move for any of this. But like I belong here, like I'm not worried about anything, and wait to be addressed, essentially.
Could you actually roll for me and then add your chill stat? Because we're going to say you are getting shit done. You are doing something that is at least dangerous or dicey.
Okay, so let's see. That is a rolled 6, and my chill is 1, bringing it up to a 7.
All right, so that worked out. So what actually happens here is, so again, just for the listener, between 7 and 9, disaster does not necessarily strike, but there's going to be some kind of complication. So what happens is the cop holds up a beefy arm immediately.
The same beefy arm or a different one?
How many beefy arms are there?
There are a total of 6 beefy arms. The cop raises a beefy arm, one of 6. I should mention not all of these arms are where you would expect arms to be. One is coming directly out of the mech's chest. The effect from a few yards off from where you are now was that there was almost an elven hat atop this mech, but it's actually yet another beefy arm with a face in the bicep. It's made mostly of beefy arms, but it raises one specific one and says nothing. Waits for you to say something.
I guess sort of slowly trundle to a stop and address the officer with this is a good question. How would I handle this? What time of day is it? Is it still morning?
Yes.
Oh,
you here
sorry.
for the conference?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was your question to the officer.
My bad. I didn't signal
You're all good.
at all.
You're all good. Yes, it is still morning. It is.
Okay.
Let's say it's mid-morning. The bright is currently the kind of green and pink combination that it would be about this distance from the fires in Cali.
Fair enough. I will give the least disconcerting wave that I can with my next arm, and say something to the effect of, "Morning, officer. May we proceed?"
Depends. The fingers on the head arm twitch as though to raise eyebrows. You here for the conference?
Out of character. Do I try to lie about knowing what he's talking about?
I assume that was not a question for me, because
yeah, no, it's a question for me. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
go for it.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be like, you got it in one, officer. Just headed to meet some friends and head that way.
You have any idea when folks are leaving? This thing was supposed to end days ago. Still seeing people. You're just getting here?
Well, we kind of were late to find out. I don't, there's been a lot of fires and some problems with the radio that we've got. I don't know if that's us or the, and I gesture to the sky. But can't say as I do. I'm not, organizing anything. I just, got in touch with a friend who's sort of in the know, and we were coming to meet up. Hope that's all right, officer. And I try to be a little deferential, but I don't know how it comes off, especially through the medium of mech.
The medium.
Exactly. Let me know if I should roll something here. By the way, I don't
you already
know.
rolled get shit. You already rolled get shit done.
That's
so
true.
You're doing a dicey thing, and you're doing it, but it might get complicated. The medium is the message, by the way, is the thing that I was going to think until I say it. So the cop is silent for a moment, And he says, call your friends over, would you?
Well, I can try. And I, sort of wave and hope that my intent is clear. Come on, guys.
I scuttle clickety clack pop over.
I roll and squelch over.
He raises a finger eyebrow, again, quizzically. Says, pretty funny looking group you got here.
We get that a lot, officer. But a lot of times you take what you can get, in terms of, and I gesture ambiguously.
Disconcertingly, two of the beefy arms pull the rib cage of the mech open, and the cop himself looks you full in the face. Not quite, because he's wearing sunglasses. For some reason.
Of course.
Of course he fucking is.
Does he have the trooper hat on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Naturally.
Got the trooper hat, pressed shirt,
We're in
the whole
trouble.
nine. Both he and the mech have a badge. And he says, got quite enough weird people around lately. You all watch yourselves?
Of course, officer. We wouldn't want to cause or make or get involved in anyone else's trouble.
He waves you by with one beefy arm while closing his ribcage with another. He does turn and watch you go, if indeed you go.
I start to proceed past, trying again to be as casual as my mech can be when it moves, and give, probably ill-advisedly, but I wouldn't know that from inside the mech, try to give him sort of like, a friendly little kind of like, kind of salute of thanks.
William, point of order.
Thank you, officer.
The hands, which are still on the ribcage, pull it back open, and the cop's face changes. Even under the sunglasses, you can tell it's that look you get briefly when you find a burst pipe in your house. Before you act, the sheer inevitability of what you're seeing, the true nowness of what's happening right now, crosses him over. And then dumbly he says, "You're welcome." The rib cage is still hanging open as you walk by.
I try really hard not to hasten my pace until we're out of sight. Try really hard.
I just go my way as an unsettlingly liquid, meaty tumbleweed.
Mm-hmm. I too pass by, leaving the scent of rot, copper, blood, rust, and carmine behind.
We're all having way too much fun with it.
We're just this rolling nightmare, even by this world standards.
So you make it the rest of the way to Masdita without incident. As you're arriving on the edge of town, you see the town. Off to one edge of it is just beach. Endless, endless beach, as though it's anything that tries not to be a beach becomes beach eventually. And that's not just true in geological time, but on human scale as well. Off to one side, there's a large radio tower, and in the middle of town is a convention center. As you may or may not know, currently it's impossible to miss. There do seem to be quite a lot of people there. You can see signs pointing the way to it. It is the Girl Boss President Reagan Ronald Center for Leaning In.
To be clear, that's the convention center and not necessarily the convention that's there right now.
Correct. That is the name of the convention center.
Okay.
You do not see any signs as to what is currently happening there, although you do see signs that something
Congratulations on just the immense psychic damage there, Drew. Good God.
I would like to note that Girl Boss President Reagan Ronald is in the source book.
Yeah. I figured.
And yet, I still have a physical, visceral reaction.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, in the history of Meat World, Girl Boss President Reagan Ronald was removed from office, immediately slipped on a banana peel, fell down 5 flights of stairs, and was pissed on by a dog.
Beautiful.
And something remarkably similar happened to male boss Prime Minister Thatcher Margaret shortly after.
Were either of them buried in a golf course?
Not in the source book, but yes, absolutely.
Good Lord.
Can't save us now.
No.
It's too late. It's too late. So you don't notice any people on the edge of town, but that's not to say you don't notice anyone or anything. There seems to be another shape, much, much smaller than a mech, about the size of a person, but not necessarily a person. There seems to be a tail attached.
This warrants my attention.
We've alluded to it, but we haven't actually said that Radagonda does have the monster fucker skill. Which does not only mean monsters might. It's just a general cryptids like her and she likes them. So,
but please do know it's a skill.
It is a skill.
It is a skill.
Specifically,
Was once
it's a move.
It was once it is literally a move. That's true. It was once underappreciated as a skill, but then the internet happened. So yeah. There appears to be a betailed, vaguely humanoid shape. It's a lot smaller than your mech, and it's ahead of you on the edge of town.
So, hopefully a simple enough observation. How much attention are we going to draw if we remain in mech moving around the town?
Once you're in town, you would probably gain a fair bit of attention. It would be a little bit like in our world, or for that matter in Vancouver, if you were driving around in a neighborhood in an 18-wheeler. It's not that it's inconceivable, but it would draw attention.
Sure. So my instinct is probably to find a good place to hop out before I do anything else, but I don't actually know what the norms are for that in world. So
Enlighten us.
Yeah, I think my character would know. I think Radagonda would know, but I do not.
Yeah, I think
Bill
in
would
world
not
it is
know.
pretty normal if you're that's true. Maybe or he would have learned it recently. So for those who use mechs for travel, which is practical if you have something that can locomote faster than your legs can, it is generally considered pretty normal to get out at the time that you would park a car. It is also, though, a little bit like hanging up your weapon. Insofar as mechs are very often used for combat when combat happens. If two people are having a very heated bar fight, it's not unheard of for them to say mechs right now, go outside, mech up, etc. So it'd be an act of good faith, and it would also be a perfectly normal thing in regards to no longer being in transit, but now being where you're going, if that all makes sense.
So I guess a related question is, are there things like parking lots or parking garages around?
There are.
Okay.
There are more or less. There is, in fact, a large space where a few other mechs are parked. There are a couple of police mechs. There are several quite expensive-looking private mechs. The bone is actually tipped with gold ore. Gold is exceedingly... Metals of all kinds are exceedingly rare in Meat World, and this would serve basically no purpose, since, of course, gold being a soft metal would only make things less effective. It's an expensive sports car. Let the record show that Des has made the jerk off into the wind motion.
Bless you, Drew, for bringing that to everyone's attention.
He even entered it into the record.
I take my duty seriously. Let it be stenographed. So yes, there would be a genteel place here on the edge of town to park your mech amongst other mechs.
Okay, so I think my calculation is that until I have talked to Olivia, I don't want to draw too much attention. So I am going to kind of motion for us to park, but I'm also going to try not to make too big a deal of it if especially Viz is reluctant to do so.
Your mechs will stand out among these more sort of pedestrian, petite bourgeoisie mechs you're seeing. But they'll stand out a lot less in a lot on the edge of town than they would in the middle of town.
Right, yeah. And
Point of order.
It's a calculated risk.
Point of order, you can't separate.
How long is the translucent glass spine spike?
Yes, we've mentioned that Bill is perma-connected to his mech, and we've not actually established the rules for how. Radagonda is also permanently connected, but in a more spiritual or metaphorical or metaphysical, perhaps, way.
I think I used the word
With
ethereal.
Bill, ethereal is a perfect word. So
Jealous.
Let's say that there is sort of, and much to the jealousy of Viz, there is perhaps if you were especially attuned to ghosts, a line between Radaganda and her mech that you could discern, but it doesn't bother it to pass through physical objects. Bill, it's a little bit different. You could imagine a long, incredibly thin piece of glass, though you'd have to imagine it because it's still not quite literal, connecting Bill and William. Let's say that Bill can go about 1,000 yards from his mech before the mech begins to sort of auto-follow.
Okay. That's quite respectable.
Yeah. I don't know how
I
big
will
this
say
town
that if
is.
your mech is at that distance, it will significantly diminish your ability to hypnotize people.
Good for the
You
most
cannot,
part.
in other words, have your... Sure. You can not, in other words, have your mech hide behind a building and have you be perfectly persuasive without it. You've got to reveal yourself to be mech connected in order to do your sort of dinner theater Metatron thing.
The way you turn a phrase, sir. The way you turn a phrase.
So you can, why thank you. You can get relatively far from it, never far enough away that it wouldn't be in sight, especially if it's unobstructed.
Yeah.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah. So I guess a logistical question for me, the player, if not, it's probably consideration for me, the character as well. Is the parking lot on the edge of town within that range to the convention center specifically?
Let's say just barely to the edge of it. You could be
Perfect.
right on the edge, but if you were to try and go inside,
Mhm.
your mech would need to begin to follow. I should also say, if either of you are quite that far from your mechs for an extended period of time, you just get itchy on a
Right,
soul
right.
level.
Welcome to my life.
Viz has never known an itchless moment in this regard. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to disembark, but I'm not going to try to force either of my companions to disembark. However, if they want to remain in their mechs, I'm going to encourage them to stick close to the parking lot.
Are there closer parking lots?
There are. You would have to tromp through the streets in mech to get to them. That wouldn't be especially frowned upon. But I think for the moment, we're just parking to détente with whatever it is on the edge of town that's caught Radaganda's attention. So you could stay in
Yes.
mech and disembark later if you're
That,
so
I think, is my
Priority one.
inclination.
Yeah, priority 1 is to talk to this tailed figure. Priority 2 is to figure out where Olivia is for me. And then we can worry about where to move my mech.
All of that makes perfect sense. So I assume you approach.
Absolutely. I'm assuming maybe I get more detail about this figure as I get closer.
You do. As you approach, what you see is a cat. This figure is standing upright, has a vaguely humanoid shape, but has the sort of fur and bearing and paws of a tuxedo cat, black with some white at the appendages. It have very alert eyes, standing stock still, looking around, and notices you. Doesn't immediately react to your coming, but is paying close attention, tail twitching back and forth ever so slightly.
Sure. I guess we established that my companions are hanging back by the mechs, so I won't try to like introduce anybody. But as I draw within like comfortable speaking distance, where it won't be like shouting across a distance, I'll give like a real casual wave and go, "Hi there. Are you waiting for someone? Looking for something?"
Yes and yes. You hear, though the cat's lips do not move. This is, and I cannot emphasize this enough, a cat.
Right.
So
Is this a
no
Dave
eyebrows,
cat?
no moving lips. This is in fact a Dave cat. Are you in the rulebook?
No, you tried to persuade me to take one as a familiar instead of the dragon.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you recall. Yes. Well, as long as the beans have been spilled, I will share one phrase I really like from the source book, dear listener, which is, if you're trying to imagine a Dave cat, imagine, if you will, a real Garfield of a cat. The communication that you experience is not auditory. You don't hear it, but you hear it.
Sure.
This creature is communicating with you telepathically.
Probably kind of old hat to me, honestly. So
Didn't mean that it had to be surprising.
Yeah.
It's simply what's
Sure.
going on.
Nod kind of casually. Cool. We just, me and my friends, and I kind of nod back toward the parking lot, just got into town, and I was kind of wondering, and I gesture broadly in the direction of the convention center, what's going on? It seems like there's kind of a shindig.
They're so loud. They're terrible. I hate them. It'd be polite if you let me sniff your hand, by the way.
Oh, certainly. Apologies. I didn't mean to be rude, and I extend a hand.
William will also squish forward and extend a tentacle to be sniffed.
The Dave Cat sniffs both in turn. You hear the thought clear as a bell when yours is sniffed, Bill, or William and Bill. That smells terrible. All right. You seem nice. These people, they've been here, and they're loud, not just the normal way, but like how we're talking. They think loud. I don't like it.
Right. Well, I don't intend to bother you. I know you have, and I gesture vaguely, other things going on. But we heard from an acquaintance around here. It may be a stretch, but if you've been in town for a moment, do you know an Olivia?
Yeah, I know Olivia. Olivia feeds me and stuff.
That sounds like her. She's good people. She was asking for help, and we heard the transmission. You wouldn't happen to know where to find her, would you?
Before your question ends, the Dave Cat dives at a small bird that has just happened by. The bird is well dead, and then the cat turns back to you. You were saying?
Just wondering if you knew where to find Olivia, and good catch, by the way.
What color is the bird?
Blue.
Damn.
That was a perfect exchange for me. I hope it was for you too.
It was.
Yeah, she's probably at the bar. At the bar.
Okay.
Without saying another word, the Dave Cat turns and starts striding into the street.
I'll just kind of like slightly raise my voice and be like, appreciate it. Thanks. Hope to see you soon. And not try to bother this cat anymore.
All right, then. So the cat is out of sight, does look back at you once or twice, but then hops off and does cat stuff, albeit at the size of the size and bearing of a 6 foot tall person.
Sure.
Yeah, so you're left without too much more information other than the vague direction in which the cat went, which was essentially forward toward the convention center.
Sure. I'm guessing then that I cannot, looking from where I'm standing in the immediate environs, pick out the bar from the buildings.
You do see one sign that sort of looks like an old-timey English pub in between the buildings.
Okay.
Whether the closest bar is the bar in question, you couldn't necessarily say. You can't even make out what the sign says necessarily.
Does seem like a decent place to start. Well, I guess I wouldn't necessarily know. Would it be reasonable to expect that there is a parking lot at this bar?
Nearby, let's say.
Sure.
So let's say you park nearby. One small correction: England, of course, does not exist in this setting. The country in question would be Ars, so it's an Arsian pub.
I am glad that you said English pub first, because that gave me some context out of character. So
we have now translated it for any of our Meat World listeners. You would know this as an Arsian pub. So you park. You get a good look at this very strange looking building. It's sort of, when you look at it, represents the Platonic ideal of bar. Like it's recognizably an old Arsian pub, but otherwise it's perfectly generic. It's almost as though your eye can't resolve what color anything is. The sign looks like the sign you'd expect for a pub, but it just says the bar and tables.
Looking at it, I probably give sort of a contented sigh. It's good to be back.
There's no one obviously milling around outside.
Sure.
You think you can hear some kinds of voices within.
I am probably headed inside, but I am probably also trying to collect my companions to go inside with me, as much as they are willing, at least.
A mech will not fit through the door.
Of course not. Yeah, I am attempting to coax them
Bill will
down
park.
and in.
As I park, Before I disengage from the mech, I say, I miss you already, life coach. I will take good care of the vessel while away.
Good care taken here as well. Have a beautiful one.
You too.
Beauty is not an illusion, but ugliness is not either.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
You could do my job. More work to be done. We'll work on it while you're gone.
I'm going to end up sidebarring every time the life coach comes into it, but I desperately want a Mass Effect mod that replaces Edie with this life coach.
Yes!
Yeah, it's the Edie has smoked a tremendous amount of weed before coming to work mod.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, having coaxed everybody out of their mechs, I stride in with what I hope is an easy confidence and look around hoping to see Olivia.
Yeah, all three of you stride in?
Yes.
Or
Probably less stride and more like skulk.
Drift, glide for me.
Okay, yeah, drift, skulk, respectively. You skulking, a very attentive viewer might see a sort of shimmering gossamer thin thread follow you through the door, and the door not close entirely.
But they're just
because of
hallucinating, it's
said
fine.
Gossamer. Indeed.
Just like I
Is
am.
this a good time to describe Viz?
Excellent time to describe Viz. I'm
Yeah.
sorry we missed that earlier.
It's okay, because they were in their mech.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is I think the
exactly.
first time they've been outside of their mech. So
At the time, it felt clever since the whole wanting to be the mech thing. But yes, we should absolutely describe Viz.
Yeah. So they wear many hues of warm scarlets and reds that would clash if paired like animals upon the ark, but somehow this cacophony of crimson just works in the overwhelming numbers that they're presenting them in. They prefer billowy clothing that flows and smooths and sways as they do, concealing their form with swaying capital F fashion. And the most noteworthy of their accessories is a wide-brimmed wool felt hat in the precise carmine shade as their shock of tightly curled hair, whereas some hats may feature feathers or flowers as a hatband. A close observer would notice that there seems to be a collection of random garbage in the same Pantone as the finely crafted but well-worn hat. And they're rarely seen without it, or the opaque, rose-colored glasses perched between an androgynous nose and brow.
You look quite different than
adorable.
anyone else in this bar. They are, by the way, adorable. I don't want to let that pass. I love all of you, players and characters all, very much. So as you enter, you see one person sitting at the bar, long and lanky, bent over a drink, obviously waiting for someone, foot tapping furiously. As you look around the bar, you notice that this person waiting is the only one in evidence who has a face. There's a band on stage playing instruments that your eye can't quite resolve the nature of. They're wearing clothes. Again, your eye can't quite decide what kind of clothes, but they definitely don't have faces. And Radagonda, you would have at least been aware of the idea of the faceless. They're around in Norlin. You would have been told from an early age to steer clear of them, but the reason might not have always been clear.
Yeah, okay. So is the person at the bar with a face plausibly Olivia?
Unlikely.
Okay.
This person is definitely white. You definitely remember Olivia being black. You don't remember Olivia being this tall. So it's unlikely.
So it looks like I've got the wrong place, is what it sounds like.
Possible. The person at the bar does notice you come in though, and begin walking over with no apparent malice.
Sure, yeah. I, don't immediately try to extricate myself from the situation, and just kind of try to put on a welcoming, if mysterious, smile as this person approaches, and try to let them kind of make the first move. Whether or not my companions decide to let that stand is up to them.
Where there are probably eyes underneath the glasses, glaze over this person approaching and instead fixate on some of the faceless around me. And my lips curl again into a slight smile, and I itch the back of my head.
The person approaching you is wearing a vest with no shirt under it. They're on the fat side. They're somehow long as well as fat, just a big person. Long limbs, but a very solid middle. They approach and they both say, and you would notice this, Bill, sign. Any of you know what the fuck's going on here? I would notice, by the way, Bill, as well, that although you recognize the sign, there are words in it that to your eye are gibberish. This person seems to, I should say, sign what they say by rote, but they do so in a way you don't quite recognize.
Okay.
The joints of your hands are so articulate.
Oh, that's very nice to say. Thank you.
I will sign back. Sorry, no. We're looking for someone, though?
Looking for someone. Wait, by the way, you deaf?
No.
Okay, me, wicked deaf, can't hear, not well. Who are you looking for? I'm trying to find Olivia. She was supposed to meet me here, and instead I see these characters.
And I could sort of, nod and with like a sidelong glance at Bill, be like, us too.
I will point at him and indicate that I'm signing what he's saying and translate.
All right then. All right. So we're getting somewhere. I'm K, like the letter. You notice, by the way, that K says K with both hands, which is not a normal thing in MSL as meat sign language, or ASL as our listeners know. So, seems we got something in common other than having faces. So that's a good place to start. This is supposed to be our place. I come in, though, and everything's all the detail been stripped off the walls, which is not ideal.
Is it not normally like
vigorously?
This? I will.
It's not. It wasn't like this a day ago. A day ago.
I leave Bill to do the talking, but I nod vigorously about the, the assessment of the place.
It's so colorless now.
Yeah. Wicked colorless. I like you. You are not wicked colorless, by the way. You've got color, which I enjoy very much.
I nod vigorously again, starting to look pained that I am limited in my ability to be the face here.
I appreciate you signing, by the way. Everybody here who speaks it, I taught them, so I forget that I do it kind of weird. My ma worked for some company, took her all over. I went with her. We lived in Oz for a year. They sent her to Vancouver one time. That was a wicked weird summer. Anyway, not sure why you're looking for Olivia, but we should probably find her. I don't have a better idea than here, so I guess we have a drink and wait.
I do one of these shrugs.
Seems a good enough start. And no worries about the sign. Like you're comprehensible, and you're also saying what you're saying, so we're all good.
Yeah, you're comprehensible too.
Excellent.
Thank you. It's nice of you to
Of course.
say.
And yeah, what was weird about Vancouver?
I mean, they had like cars, and there was no metacycles, not a single one, and I mean, where do you start?
I sort of roll my eyes and nod.
I just look intensely confused.
All right. You need a drink in you more than me, even, which is saying something. Oh, over here.
I also then nod slightly differently, a little bit more momentously to that, without rolling my eyes.
You can talk. We're making things happen here. You don't have to be. I mean, if you don't, I didn't mean to insult you.
No. I was trying to let Bill, and I gesture to him because it seemed just more courteous. Thank you. I'm not. It's been a little while since I've had company other than these two. It's nice to meet you. And
And I am
Kinda.
Yeah.
signing everything that is said at this point, just sort of, automatically.
They shake hands with everyone vigorously, or at least hold out their hands to do so, like a politician glad handing everyone.
And I don't think I've said before, so I introduce myself.
Yeah.
Radaganda. Nice to meet
As
you.
I shake their hand, I hold it perhaps a little bit too long, as though trying to memorize the shape of it, and say, I'm the Viscera.
You are. That seems right somehow. You're wicked red, like wicked red.
But not quite the color.
No. Like well red, but also the color.
Yes.
I treasure these interactions.
I am probably already moving toward the bar because that's where my comfort zone is.
Do we all follow to the bar?
Yeah.
Do I take it? All right. As you're approaching, somebody does come from behind the bar, and they do have a face. The sigh of relief, I don't know if is on the
It's in character. It's in character.
The recording. Yeah, no, I just want to make sure we got it in case we didn't
gotcha.
get it. Yeah. So the face in question has sort of a bad goatee, sort of a military-ish haircut, sort of red, but not like Viz, not a pleasing red, more of like a ruddy red. Not even a ruddy red, the red of something about to burst. And this person, this bartender comes over and looks everyone over and says, "What can I get you?"
My fingers twitch as I look at their hair and their beard. And then I say, red wine, please.
Waiting just courteously enough for Viz to order their red wine, I ask very sort of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Guilelessly, can you make a venom ruby?
At this, the bartender smiles with only the top half of his mouth.
I'm going to take that as a yes until he says something else and just take a seat.
Looks to Bill.
I will sign. What do you recommend?
Beer here.
Sure, says the 19-year-old.
I mean, after all, it's a dream.
Yeah, none of this is real. Even though Vancouver apparently exists in this hallucination.
It's recursive, perhaps. I don't know. You can discuss that with Kay later. So Kay pounds the bar, says, "And 2 beers." The half smile does not change. The bartender turns around, disappears for a moment, comes back with a cocktail almost exactly unlike what you ordered. Renegado, picture the inverse. It's clearly you clearly did not understand the order in the slightest.
A sapphire antidote.
To pretend. A sapphire antidote. Thank you. Comes to you with a sapphire antidote.
I will return the extremely brittle smile without a word.
The smile does not move or get broader. The red wine appears mostly as ordered. That was an easy enough one. And there are 2 large cans of what appears to be... did I say cans? Because I meant bone flagons of what appears to be local beer. Metal's much too dear for that kind of thing around here.
Yeah.
So... it was a Meat World fail on my part. So, bartender says, "So you're here for what exactly? You don't look like attendees."
I sort of look left and right as though confused. Oh, we're meeting a friend. That's all.
Friend.
Yeah.
This one here said, also meeting a friend, apparently. A lot of friends to meet. A lot of friends.
Well,
what
one
friendly place you got
actually.
here.
We're all friends here, aren't we?
Oh, that's great. Great. I love friendship. Love that. You're weird people, aren't you? You're just coming into people's towns being weird.
My life coach says that the only self to be is your true, authentic self.
My smile goes a little strained, but I don't say anything. And instead I look at the bartender as, Weird's kind of relative, and we're, happy to just meet our friend and, not bother anyone, really.
What I will say, what's weird about coming into a town?
Oh, there's nothing weird about that. It's the rest of it. Is Smallvarther with you, by the way?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What's weird is your iguana there. That's weird.
I will do my best
Smallvarther
not
will
to look
say,
affronted.
Smallvarther will say, "My name is Smallvarther. Pleased to meet you." And whom am I addressing?
At this point, my smile looks like one of those fucking ceramic masks.
He answers, but the listener does not. The listener does not hear it. And there's an argument that you don't either, because at this point you notice the grayscale that the bartender is wearing, and within this rulebook, fash do not receive the dignity of being named.
Beautiful.
I love that so much.
Sublime.
At some point during this entire exchange, I mutter into my red wine, "My life coach says weird is wonderful."
The bartender, who shall remain nameless, slams his hands on the bar and says, "Yeah, sounds like something a life coach would say, doesn't it? Doesn't it just?"
I will turn to Viz and say, "Your life coach in this is correct."
I'm going to turn to Kay and say, "So, if Olivia isn't here, I don't guess you have any idea of where else we might look for her?"
If she's not here, she got held up patrolling. We're trying to start to turn people away because this thing was supposed to be over days ago. Can you excuse me a moment? Hey, you guy, I don't know when you started working here because I come in here all the time, but maybe you could stop being such a, a piece of shit. Anyway, so if she's not here, she's trying to come here, but she might have been, I don't know, detained. Were there cops outside of town or something?
Oh, see, I was thinking she was in town. We met a cop on the way in. Yeah.
Oh shit, she might have been looking for you. And oh shit.
I'm gonna
all right.
Give kind of like, can you give us a second gesture toward the bartender? And
who since Kay spoke, by the way, is simply fuming and turning the ever more shades of white guy with a sunburn red.
I am extremely unconcerned about that. And
I watched this with a smile.
Yeah.
Smallvarther just smiles toothily anytime the bartender looks less uncomfortable.
I sort of give that gesture to the bartender, pause for a second, look at Kay, look at my companions, and then look at my drink, down the rest of it, however vile it is.
For the record, quite.
Yeah. Nothing I haven't experienced before.
How is the beer to a 19-year-old who is not really experienced with alcohol?
It tastes like a local lager, which is to say just barely like beer.
Yes, but that doesn't answer the question of whether or not it tastes good.
Sure. To you, a 19-year-old who's never really experienced beer, it tastes like drinking water while thinking about drinking alcohol. Thinking so really hard, though.
Disappointing all around. Noted.
So
yeah, you are probably quite disappointed.
Having downed my drink, I'm going to dust off my hands theatrically and fish out what I think will be enough money to pay for the drinks, if I can. I guess I don't know how money is handled in this game. But
we haven't actually established. Let's call that your first gear roll. You happen to have the money to pay for this.
Sure. Well, interestingly,
and not even a roll, actually.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, so I have 4 gear, and I name one of those things and introduce it to the scene to help you solve a problem. But because I'm a honey artist, that is my playbook. Whenever you introduce gear, ask the GM if it belongs to someone who's caught feelings for you. They can decide right now who that is and that they've caught feelings. If you don't return the gear in good condition, ask the GM how they feel about you. I'm going to write down for my first gear slot here, drink money.
Yeah, there you go.
And I guess it's up to you if there's anything else that comes from that.
Well, let's say as you try to get the money out, Kay says, hey, first of all, I'm paying. Second of all, we're not paying. This isn't even the beer we ordered. This is piss. What is this piss? We need to go find Olivia, so we're getting the hell out of here, and you keep your money. We have now established you have the money,
Sure.
But you still have it.
I nod very gracefully with a nervous glance at the bartender, but I don't say anything other than thanks to Kay and wheel on my heel.
You glance to where the bartender used to be, but at some point in his indignance, he has disappeared.
Oh, good.
As you turn to get up, however, you can sort of hear him reappear.
Oh, good.
Do you turn around?
No. He has disappeared to me. I am happy with
Anybody else care what his status is?
I
Yes.
will cast a cursory glance over my shoulder just to ensure that he is not bringing his colorlessness near me.
In the sense that, sure, I'm in a hallucination, but this hallucination has threats.
Yeah, and indeed, he's back, and with him now is a ghost. Now, again, in the same way that the faceless are around in Norlin, ghosts are around in Norlin. But since Radaganda very much chose not to look, probably neither of you really know what you're looking at precisely, though you could imagine it's probably a ghost. What you see is a figure glowing old lace white, and what you hear is sort of a constant mournful gibbering. The bartender, for his part, slams his fist again on the bar and says, I don't think you're going to be leaving without paying. And don't you want to stay just a little longer and keep being weird?
I make the executive decision in the minute to just follow Kay's lead.
The bartender, to his horror, watches the ghost follow you out quite expediently, you specifically. Bill, Viz, you would probably have to step out of the way in order to not make contact with this ghost.
I do that.
So do you?
I
Okay.
also do that. It is disgusting and lacks flesh.
That is a fair point. So you the bartender is currently stunned. He is sputtering. From here on out, it's mostly slurs. And the ghost has followed Radaganda out into the street. So you probably notice about this time that you've got a ghost following you, and it appears to be wanting to be close to you.
Okay. So I seem to remember, I purposefully, for the listeners' benefit, purposefully did not read up on the setting portions of this. I have actually played a little bit of Extreme Meatpunks Forever, but unfortunately my PC is not very good and had hitches in Unity, so I haven't actually finished the first season yet. But ghosts have not appeared yet. But in the source book, where I'm from, I think is supposed to have a pretty high concentration of ghosts. So what would I know about this in character?
Yeah, well, you would know in character. You would know that they are something you're told to stay away from. You know, they're vaguely associated with the faceless. There's actually a really famous serial that you would definitely be familiar with, a radio serial called Old Timothy's Last Gamble. And it's a long-running series about a gambler. They go on and on and on about what the titular last gamble is going to be. And then it turns out the title character loses their face in a drinking contest with a ghost. It's supposed to be some kind of cautionary tale, but it's not clear if it's a cautionary tale about like drinking more than you know you can handle, or wagering more than you can afford to lose, or just ghosts generally.
Mm-hmm. So okay, I detected there's a ghost following me. What are the odds on communicating with a ghost, as far as I know?
You're not personally aware of anyone who's done so successfully.
Okay.
Once we are within sight of William, I will politely tell the ghost to leave my friend alone.
The ghost looks directly at you, and this is an uncomfortable experience for both of you. The baleful mourning sound that comes from the ghost's face, such as it is, sort of intensifies, and the ghost begins to skulk off.
I feel for that creature. It is without meat.
I look at Bill and I go...
I sign thank you in its wake.
I look at Bill and I go, thanks. I wasn't sure what to do about that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I seem a little consternated that I am being taken care of rather than doing the taking care of.
Glad it worked.
At this point, the bartender explodes from the bar and says, "What the fuck are you? It's supposed to, it eats the weird people. That's what it's supposed to, why is it, how did you, what the, he is going to take a swing any moment now."
Cool. I am going to interpose myself between all three of the others here and the bartender without assuming like a fighting stance, but like post up, you know? This has activated my protective instinct, especially toward Viz.
I will also say, again invoking the glow teeth, go back to the bar, barkeep.
Tell him to question his life choices, too.
And think on the rightness and wrongness of everything that you've done here.
Good job.
His head starts rotating at such a strange and constant rate that for a moment it looks like it's going to rotate the whole way around. He turns his head and keeps turning his head and keeps turning his head. It does not, in fact, turn the whole way around. But when it goes just too physically far to quite be plausible, he actually falls over and simply says, "Okay." He, at that point, attempts to get up and sort of stagger back to the bar.
I like the flexibility of your neck.
While the bartender is doing that and while Viz is saying that, I gingerly sort of scoop my arms around the shoulders of my two companions and hustle them toward the parking lot where our mechs are.
What is Kay doing in this time?
Kay was absolutely squared up to fight and is still not quite believing that there's not going to be a fight. And perhaps is turning to you and saying, "How did you do that?"
I will sign that...
As long as we are all walking while this conversation is happening, I let it happen.
I will sign that there's a reason that I'm selective about when I speak.
That's a damn fine trick. That's a damn fine trick. I'm a little sad we didn't get to pop that guy in the mouth, especially because he seems to have unleashed the ghost on a bunch of people. How do you even... I'm not a Southerner. I've never met a ghost before.
I'm nodding and I'm going, in Kay's direction, I say, I do not have a problem with popping that guy in the mouth, but I didn't especially want to make a scene where the ghost could do something about it. I will be much more comfortable if we have access to our mechs and have found Olivia. But if you want to come back here later, he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, he does. And I just might because he does. As you approach the parking lot, you see that sitting on top of Viz's mech, which is to say on top of Viz in a sense, is the Dave cat from earlier.
I will...
Doesn't seem to mean any harm, but is simply atop the mech in the way a cat might be, but again, sitting like a person.
Mm-hmm.
I freeze and stare.
I look from the Dave cat to Viz and wave at the Dave cat and just kind of say jovially, like, good to see you again. We're actually gonna be moving that in a second, if that's okay. Please let it be okay.
It's fine. Just up here, better vantage point. I think she's coming.
Oh, that's...
Do you know where she's coming from?
Out of town.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're about to go meet her then, actually. So thanks for looking out for our our mechs while we were inside. And I kind of like nod and gesture toward Viz, like I'm kind of trying to explain what's going on.
Do you know which direction out of town?
The way you came in, I think.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Can I would like for all of you to smell like me. I would like that very much.
I don't mind.
I will look to Smallvarther to see
myself.
his thoughts on the matter.
I'm gonna rule that Smallvarther is not about it.
I would say so, but my dear friend here is a bit territorial of me.
You see perhaps the Dave Cat do the most human thing you've seen it do, which is it gives a courtly bow to Smallvarther. But then the motion would be rubbing against Radagonda's leg, but of course this is a 6-foot cat.
Sure.
Or sort of a general mascot suit rub.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I purr.
You both purr. And then the Dave Cat turns to Viz.
I give a quick jerk of my head, like, no. And then say, no, thank you.
Dave Cat shrugs and walks off, disappears around the corner, but then reappears a moment later with Olivia.
Oh, awesome.
So it seems one problem has more or less solved itself.
If anybody happens to be looking, the tension bleeding out of me is as obvious as one of those inflatable wacky arm men being turned off.
Olivia is extremely happy to see all of you and perhaps notices the tension, but also sees it leaving and says, Jesus, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not be here when you got here. I was hoping to help you get around the blockade, but then you got through it fine, I guess. And then you met Kay. Did you meet Kay? This is Kay.
We met.
Yeah, we met. Kay's awesome.
I will sign that
sorry
we met.
about that. Yeah.
Olivia
man,
is very impressed by this and signs back at you badly.
Yeah, I am totally down to get into some trouble now that I know you're okay. And I chuckle nervously.
Yeah, so about that being okay. So it seems like they're waiting for someone. That's what I was trying to figure out, why they're still here. So this was supposed to be, I guess, a conference that was supposed to last 3 days, and this is day 8. Because they say that their speaker isn't here. I don't know. I can't get any of them to explain what the hell they mean. You realize as she's talking how long it must have been since you've seen her. Last time you saw her when you fucked up the guy's face in Norland, the couple of guys' faces, but the one guy in particular. She had really short cropped hair, and now she has high green Liberty spikes. Those take a while to grow. So
I probably am not aware of the fact that I'm licking my lips seeing this.
She is.
Sure. I don't go in for a hug, but I sort of like open my arms, like hug, one of those hug shrugs, like to see if somebody wants to hug you.
Hug shrug.
She returns the hug shrug with an actual hug. Yeah, she's a little bit older than you. She's about your height. She's significantly more muscular than you are. You notice that during the hug. She's probably had more occasion to get into fights than you have lately.
Yeah. I haven't been around other people that much. So mid hug, I'm saying to Olivia, God in hell's damn it, it's really good to see you again. It's been a while, hasn't it? I love the hair, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I love all of what you got going on here, and there's a lot of it, and you brought friends. That's the best news I've heard.
Let me introductions. This is Viz, gesturing.
I remove my hat and cross it over my chest and give a slight bow in greeting.
They're an absolute darling. And this is Bill, gesturing toward Bill.
I will sort of like cute nervous wave.
Yeah. he's a little strange sometimes, but he's good people. He's good people. Just needs a little help from time to time. And I gesture toward Bill's shoulders, is Small Arthur, who is a real mensch.
Hello, Olivia.
It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege. This is Darcy. She says, gesturing at the Tuxedo Dave Cat, who has reappeared. She was supposed to keep an eye out for you, but didn't do an awesome job, apparently. So that's...
She did quite a reasonable job. She directed us to the bar and told us where you were coming from when we came back to inquire.
And you would have caught me there, but I would... whatever, ships in the night. It's fine. I'm worried because there seems to be way more of a cop presence lately. They're around the radio tower, which makes me think all this jamming might be coming from here, and they're around the convention center, which I still don't know what the hell they're up to in there. But it can't be anything good.
Absolutely. Did you know that the bar has a ghost that they're using to fuck with people?
Yeah. Some jackass was erasing people. That seems not great.
I will inquire by sign whether people can come back for that.
Come back from facelessness?
Yeah.
Fuck if I know. I've never seen it happen. I think Olivia, by the way, has just been fuming as this has been happening.
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen, so I don't know if there's a cure, but
I shake my head and be like, well, I was wanting to link up with you first. I'm glad I got your distress signal, and we'll help however we can. I just didn't want to make anything worse until I linked up with you,
sure.
But,
yeah,
and I'll crack my knuckles and be like, it seems like you could use some help.
Well, I'm processing all this. Are there still people with faces in there, or
just the one, the bartender in grayscale, if you know what I mean?
Oh shit! And he had a ghost. He has or had. This is important.
Had,
as far as I know, has
followed.
Oh,
Rad out, and I told it to leave Rad alone, and it left.
That's good. They eat specificity. So if you set up shop in a bar, it'll just sort of take away all the things that make the people that they are until, oh shit, this is bad.
Yeah.
Can I try to bring specificity back to the bar with magic?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, presumably this could go really badly. Let me see if you do have a stat. Yeah. I think this is just to get shit done. I think you're getting shit done magically. Yeah. Let's get a roll.
What attribute is that?
It's going to be 2 dice plus chill.
Oh, good. That's my good one. Can I assert that I have gear that is some manner of magic focus? If
some kind of regents? Yeah. If you describe it and explain where you got it.
I mean, I made it in Vancouver. It's like a like flower crown of actual flowers in a variety of shades, none of them red or black. And as I consume it for the magic, it becomes extremely goth, and I put it on my head.
Does
All right, then.
Gain red as it becomes goth?
Black and purple, because any actual red would clash with my gingerness.
Oh, sure. Viz can't catch a break.
Gotta have the fashions on point.
So rolled a 9, that's an 11 plus whatever effect of the regent.
All right, then. So that is a very fine roll. So I say you begin to notice... The first thing you notice is that the sign of the bar no longer says the bar and tables, or rather it says that, but in a sort of a double vision, you can see that it also says the ships and Kraken, which Kay immediately recognizes. That's what it used to be called, though we just call it the Ribs of Kraken. It's not that funny a joke now that I think about it. A lot of fights, though. You notice the color begins to come back to the bar. You can't, without going back in, see what's happened to the people, but you do hear what sort of sound like human voices coming from inside.
I look at Olivia and I go, head in?
Yeah, I mean, sure. At the very least, we can beat the shit out of one. Yeah, sure. Let's go inside.
I nod vigorously, and it's something between like a brisk stride and a jog that I head toward the door with.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
As this conversation was going on, could I have been staring at the bright in contemplation?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I thought that would have been the earlier time would have been the only time I could have used this move, but I figured this is a good opportunity because
excellent time to contemplate the bright. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll chill again. Ooh, I got a 9.
Ooh, very nice.
Plus, so that's 11.
So I believe you get a question about the nature of things.
Yes, I'm going to ask what speaker this conference is or convention is waiting for.
The richest man in the world.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
Not that I know that, but
You're somehow mad about it anyway.
yeah, that's very in character.
Yeah. So after spending some time in contemplation of the bright, this answer comes to me, and then I realize that my friends are walking away, shake it off, and follow them into the bar.
You're back in the bar. The band now is playing something a little bit more distinct than music. The instruments are now something a little bit more distinct than instruments. And people don't have faces, but they no longer don't have faces. There's features discernible. There are voices muffled. They can seem to understand each other, even though you can't quite understand them. There's, at the very least, a fading in of detail in the room. The bartender, meanwhile, is looking around furiously, stomping around. His head seems to have gotten larger and certainly redder. And he turns to you with fury in his eyes.
Awesome. Is there any evidence of the ghost?
Not currently.
Awesome. I am going to take it upon myself to address the bartender first as he is approaching furiously. And of course, I am trying to be ready for violence
Sure.
should it break out. But I can't resist taunting him a little bit first. So I'm going to say, "Oh no, what happened to your ghost friend?"
What emanates from his lips next is about 95% slurs. But the 5% that remains is going to kill you.
Cool. I actually say that out loud as I sort of look left and right to the 4 folks around me. This is something of a relief, honestly, now that Olivia has been accounted for.
Kay squares up and says, "Honestly, I don't like your odds." This does not seem to deter him, and
I may
he
actually
steps forward.
say out loud, "You know we have a dragon, right?"
Small Arthur turns to you and
Any-
says, "You do."
I shoot a beaming grin at Small Arthur for like a fraction of a second.
The bartender fumingly walks toward you with absolute confidence, and you're not sure why, until you notice that as the detail begins to come back to some of the people, some of them actually are also wearing grayscale. If
I wish I was
indeed
surprised.
This was some if there's any surprise, it's only that any of these assholes were specific enough to be worth eating. But apparently they were, because as they come back to life, a few of them square up obediently behind the bartender. Let's say there's 4 of them standing behind him.
Let me see. I'm going to do a little bit of a roll to see just where impulse takes me. All right.
Was that a totally voluntary roll?
Yes, that was a totally voluntary roll because it could have gone either way.
Right, fair enough.
So I look to Olivia first and then sort of glance over to Kay and I say, I'm out of town following your lead, but I sort of like crack my knuckles.
Further point of order. Can Small Arthur breathe fire?
This hasn't actually been established. I'm going to say Small Varthur can breathe fire on a limited basis.
He is small.
If Small Varthur breathes fire, you are going to spend one of your gear points and thereby expend that.
Makes sense.
Did you say that Mecha could not fit into the bar?
If you don't want to destroy the bar, that's a big if, I suppose, but
probably for Viz more than for most, it's a big if.
I will intone. Perhaps we should take this outside.
Oh, gladly.
I cackle. I don't know if it's possible to skip backwards towards the door, but I try.
Before we do go outside,
yeah,
I would like to consume a bit more of my flower crown and try to take the specificity of the fash and put that specificity instead into those who are not fash.
That's a good question. So you know that the 4 approaching you with the bartender are fash. Are you assuming the rest aren't, or do you have some other way of figuring out who should get the specificity?
I will leave this as a gift to the GM.
Fair enough. So the specificity begins to drain out of the 4 of them. They actually sort of slump over as though their marionettes whose strings have been cut. The rest of the people in the bar become just a little bit more distinct. You can now make out hair colors, you can make out features, you can make out eye colors in some cases. You can hear accents, although you still can't make out words. Probably, let's say 2 of them do seem to be donning grayscale and do still come at you, but the move seems to have worked itself out.
Also,
the bartender is more furious than ever. He steps on one of the ones who's fallen over.
Well, that doesn't seem to be very nice to your friends.
Something else I should note, though, is as these 2 fash apparently get their distinction back, something very distinct is immediately noticeable about them. Their faces, as you can see them again, as they come to exist again, are weasel-like. They have elongated sort of snouts and long noses and sharp teeth. They appear to have altered themselves in some way, or been altered in some way to look like weasels. You do not really know why, but it's an unmistakable effect. Metaphorically, but
as within, so without.
Literally.
Right. Life is not always a political cartoon, but in this case, they are literally weasel-like. So bartender and 2 weasel fash are approaching you.
Is this where we fuck around and find out?
Well, you've just said you want to step outside.
Oh, that's true.
So
Sorry.
That would generally mean mech fight.
Yeah.
If you want to take a swing, even so, you're very
Oh,
welcome
no, I was
to,
skipping backward toward the door. I just, it sounded like they were getting serious inside.
They're getting squared up, but they're just following you with a plum.
I will pull that ripcord and have the translucent glass spine spike draw me bodily back into my mech.
I love that.
This does get a note of shock from Bartender Fash and Weasel Fash, both. Weasel D and Weasel Dog.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll leave it up to you whether or not this constitutes a get organized sort of deal, but I'm going to use the distraction of Bill pulling himself back into the mech to run back to mine.
Yeah, I'm going to call that get organized. So give me a roll and then add your attention stat.
Okay. And I know I have I don't know if it needs to activate the move that's related to get organized. Oh, where'd it go?
Oh, you might have something, yeah.
Yeah,
you have organization quickeners?
Yes.
When you roll get organized while in your mech, it can in fact be spur of the moment.
So
meanwhile,
I don't have
this
to
might come up later.
So what am I rolling?
You can still roll get organized. It just won't have that modifier on it because you're not in your mech yet.
So
okay.
Real quick, one of my sinew options for my mech is love letter muscles. If you have at least +1 love with someone and they're linking up to their mech at the same time as you, they get advantage on that roll. Only one PC can benefit from this per scene. I have +3 love with Viz. So if I can endeavor to be linking up to my mech at the same time, I can give Viz advantage on their sinew roll, which presumably is upcoming. Do I need to roll Get Organized to do that?
Let's say yes, since you may not have coordinated this ahead of time.
Sure.
Unless you passed this roll, in which case you more or less did.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just
I know
going
I
to roll
did.
sinew.
Did not pass this roll for the record.
Well,
no.
Yeah, you'll all be rolling sinew in just
Sure,
a second. Yeah, but you can go. Yeah,
I missed it. What is the stat associated with Get Organized?
Get Organized is attention.
Shit. Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's not too bad. I rolled an 11, so that's a 10. For
I
me.
yeah,
also,
that's legit.
for the record, got a 2 on the roll I just did for Get Organized. So with 1, that is a massive 3.
So my goal with that, right, is to be getting into my mech simultaneously with.
That's right.
and that means that you'd get to roll an extra die on your sinew roll. Robin.
Right, when it comes around. Yeah.
Mhm. Which is great because my sinew roll is also very buffed.
This should work out pretty well. You make it out to the parking lot in due course. Some of the still more faceless do sort of crawl their way out, the former fash. They're a little bit animate. They're just not distinct enough to do much of anything. There are 4 fash faceless watching the fight. The Weasel D and Weasel Dumb do seem to have mechs as well. The mechs too are Weasel-like in terms of their bearing for reasons that escape you. The bartender, for his part, apparently is or at some point was a cop because he has one of the beefy arm mechs. This mech has no less than 16 beefy arms, splayed in various directions. I should also note that Olivia and Kay are squaring up to be part of the fight as well. Kay essentially has a mech which is a parody of the beefy arm mechs. About 100 extremely spindly arms, quite articulate, like a bodhisattva. Olivia, for his part, has sort of a very humanoid but sort of short and squat mech with impossibly long arms. It looks slow, but it looks like you wouldn't want to get hit by it.
Dope.
So are we going to roll for sinew?
I think you're all squaring up and getting into your mechs, so let's roll sinew to see how that connection goes.
So here's a question for you. I have the advantage from Rad's roll, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I also get a advantage from neuron fibers. Roll with advantage when hooking up to your mech. So does that mean I'm rolling with 4 die currently?
You do not have double advantage. That is not a thing in this system, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, it adds color.
Yeah.
It does. Let the record show that this is a quite advantageous roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have neuron fibers, so I roll with advantage when hooking up to my mech as well. And we've talked about translucent glass spine spikes, but that means you can turn any miss on the sinew move into a 7 to 9, that partial success. But everyone around you can see your memories flowing out of you as it happens. The GM will ask you a question. Everyone around you knows the answer. So we'll see what I actually roll with advantage here for sinew.
Yeah. I have a similar thing with the bright shine here. So when my consciousness merges with my mech, I say my mech's name and then roll sinew. On a 10+, I can name an NPC and have the bright shine on them. And on a 7 through 9, I can name an NPC and have the bright shine on them, but it'll also shine on me. And then there's a few things that can happen when this happens.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Oh, nice. I got a 14.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
That's
okay.
just on the dice. So
Well, you picked the highest 2.
Well, so you picked the highest 2, yeah.
I'll pick the highest 2. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So that's a 10.
Okay.
And
Well, that's
then
fine.
That's a
I mean,
13 with my sinew, so it's still
No, you're
solid.
good. I mean, yeah. That is a ludicrous.
I rolled
boxcars.
So,
I don't know what that means.
2 6s.
Cool.
Okay.
Beautiful.
The
Gorgeous.
bright is going to shine on the lower mech that looks like we Oh, you actually pick one. Never mind. So you have options here.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So, you name an NPC to have the bright shine on them. So the you here is you. So you get to pick one of the NPCs.
I'm still going to pick the one that looks like we should not be hit by it.
Gotcha. Oh, well, that's
That's
on your
Olivia's.
side.
That's our friendly.
That's Olivia's.
Oh, Oh, that's our friendly? Okay. Who's
The cop one.
I'm going to pick the 16-armed cop then.
Yeah.
16 armed cop. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So the bright shines on the 16 armed cop. Very good. So we'll see what that meant once that cop tries to make a move.
And
Go
is there
ahead, Des.
another mech on the field right now?
There are
enemy?
2 more. There are 2 weasel-like mechs that are taking
Okay.
the field.
So I still had the hold. Do I still have the hold from Bedeviled Skin Crust in my life coach?
You do. You do, as a matter of
I'm going to
fact.
go ahead and activate that. And I am going to have one of the weasel people. No, they don't deserve to be called people. The weasel fashes hallucinate something about the environment. Do I get to say what that is?
Yes, you do.
They just see shining amounts of blood. Like the elevator doors have opened. There's a river of blood threatening to overwhelm them. It's red. All they can see is that red. It's coming towards them, and they can do nothing to stop it. Also, I rolled a 10 plus on that, so my life coach can tell me something that it thinks is cool in this moment.
The bright is the blood of the firmament, and the firmament is the life's blood of your new tomorrow.
Blessed be the bright.
So, my sinew move on a 10 plus actively transforms parts of the battlefield into something.
You're going to have to tell me what that is, and also which parts.
The ground underneath Weasel Dumb's mech is in fact a sinkhole.
Weasel Dumb being the weasel that is not currently tripping
Yes.
balls from
Exactly.
Mrs. Roll. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Tripping bright,
Yeah.
I suppose. Weasel Dumb sinks into the earth. You're not sure how far, or into the meat, I should say. Into the topsoil atop the meat. You're not sure how far. You're not sure if they'll be back, but they disappear from view completely. They are at the bottom of something. So there are now 2 enemy mechs on the field, one of which is on the ground trying not to choke on imaginary blood.
So I also had a sinew
And the
roll.
other... Go for it.
I had already...
I'm sorry, that you're right. We should do that roll before we say anything's
I had already
happening,
rolled
so go
it.
for it. Yeah.
I got a 10 on the dice, and sinew is my highest mech attribute with 2, so that's 12. And my sinew move for my playbook... I have to read this out loud, I'm sorry. When you reveal your sexy thirst trap spine to the yawning, pulsing prod spike that marries you to the meat, say your mech's name and roll sinew. So as I sit in the quote-unquote cockpit of my mech, I mutter its name, Violent Dancer, and it prods me in the back of the neck. And on a 10 plus, name someone. Even if they aren't present in the brawl, they'll make their way towards it as soon as they can, looking for you. Maybe they even show up immediately with no clear explanation as to why. If they're already there, they're singularly on you and open to, talking. So I did not expect to be this singularly successful and had not prepared an NPC for this eventuality. But if it is permissible, what I would like to do, and you tell me if this works or not, Drew. In my personal description on my character sheet, it says that an aspiring paramour who Radaganda rebuffed once described her in a fit of pique as a polyamorous pansexual nightmare, and now Radaganda uses it as something of a tagline. Can I have that person be the person I designated in this particular success?
Yes, of course. This person... remarkably is here. Could you describe this person and perhaps their mech, if I may put you on the spot slightly?
I don't mind at all. This is so much fun. Okay, so the person in question, the cure guy, Robert Smith. He's named Robert. This person's name is Robert.
With the hair, yeah.
His name was Robert Paulson.
His name
God
is
damn it.
Robert Paulson.
This guy's name is not Robert Smith, but his name is Robert. So Robert shows up. He is a lanky, pale dude with dark hair, a blank black t-shirt, and like big baggy trap pants. And his Mac is similarly lanky. You might even say skeletal, just enough muscle to move the limbs where the bones sort of show more than the meat does. But it is very tall and very long, and the arms in particular end in wicked looking blades of bone.
You get the impression that Bill within William is just looking up in the sort of like Mass Effect slow pan.
I leave it up to you, Drew, why and how Robert is here. But that is how I have decided to instantiate this character.
Robert, for the record, and there's no way you could know all of this right now, was here for the conference. Turned out, thought all these people were crazy, and was looking for a reason to either start shit or leave, and found a reason to do perhaps one then the other when this fight turned up. Saw a fight, was just absolutely spoiling for one, and did not realize you were the one in it, but that's just a bit of tremendous good luck.
Absolutely, I love that. And let's see, nothing else came into play here, because I also have translucent glass spine spikes, but I didn't have to invoke it here.
You didn't want to be dramatic about it?
Well, it's you can turn any miss on the sinew move into a 7 to 9.
Oh yeah,
miss. So
Drew's just letting me get away with
matter.
weird shit with this because we've agreed that weird shit will also happen to me from this.
Nobody's not getting away with weird shit.
Sure.
And nobody's getting away without weird shit happening to them. Them's the breaks.
Yeah, so I have successfully hooked up to Violent Dancer and summoned an aspiring X to the fight.
All
Well
right.
done. Well done.
Well, the very first thing that happens is that Weasel D starts, as mentioned, tripping balls. This is partly because, Viz, you've got clicky nerves. You always go first, if only by a split second. Then the ground opens up under Weaseldum rather. Tweedle. Let's leave the Tweedles out of this. They're nice kids. The Weasel disappears completely from view. This leaves the bartender somewhat already in a bad position. And I'm sorry, so much just happened that I don't remember if anything happened immediately to the bartender. I wrote it down.
Was he the cop
Yeah.
one?
Mm-hmm.
He was the cop one. Yeah.
So
you used,
you're gonna
so
choose
that was
an
the
effect.
one.
Yes,
The bright
totally.
has shined
He's got a
upon.
whammy.
That's right. Thank you. That's exactly right. The bright has shined upon him, and what that means in this case is that the fire streaked bright of Callie has begun to descend on him. The bright opens up above him, if only for a moment. Doesn't actually open up. What that would look like would be something quite more horrible that we probably won't be getting into this session, but it appears to. Streaks come down, and 4 of his beefy arms are aflame.
Ooh.
The Bright is not well pleased.
It's not real fire, I should say. It kind of looks like ASCII fire. It's made of whatever the Bright's made of, but it's definitely doing some damage.
It's beautiful.
His arms are perhaps glitching out of existence. He is, to put it mildly, surprised.
I'm gonna
Not too surprised. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to take this opportunity to recommend that people listening to this play Extreme Meatpunks Forever, because even though I have not seen all of what there is yet, S tier ASCII art usage.
Oh, truly.
Absolutely tremendous.
Stunning the whole way through. No question. There's more hand-drawn art in season 2, but still some very good ASCII stuff.
I can't wait to get there.
It's good stuff. So, this is going well. I will say, I will say that bartender Cop Fash is only angrier at this point and takes a swing with 4 beefy arms at once, only 2 of which are ASCII aflame, at the nearest person, who I'm going to say is William. However, before we do that, all of this stuff, I think, should probably increase the brawl counter. Now, this is a stat that is only used when in mech combat, and it's basically a measure of how well the fight is going. It starts at 0, and when favorable things happen on the battlefield, it begins to go up. It can go as high as +3. I'm going to say we are already at +2. What that means is one of you can at any time make a roll. This can be a counter, or you can be instigating the move for a finisher. That if you succeed, you will kill the person that you are targeting outright, and the counter will reset. Now, we don't have kill confirmation on anybody yet, so use it well. But first things first, bartender Fash has taken a swing at William. Do you do anything to evade this or counter, or do you square up your job, as it were?
I have a couple of things, notably.
You have a few tricks up your sleeve. That is extremely good.
Excellent seasoning. Is that something I can just, announce as a no? Or like, what is the mechanism of him attempting to hit me, since the GM does not roll dice?
Indeed. Yeah, the mechanism is purely based on storytelling and indeed your abilities. Now, you make a really good point. You do have excellent seasoning. So the first time each session you would take a hit, all you need to do to dodge it is describe how you look super tough when ignoring it.
I fight with a pair of really bigger tentacles, ? Tubes.
Sure.
And they are either, separate, they are Florentine dagger equivalents, I suppose. But together, they are a shield. So, I just hold up the shield and just, look cool while he, training punches me, and it kind of humiliates him a little bit.
Brawl is now at +3. You do not have to take a status, you don't get hurt, and you're in an excellent position, or someone is, to fucking kill one of these guys. The fight is going
Viz, I believe this would be Viz's first action, since all of the sinew stuff was sinew stuff.
Yeah. So this would be a technical question. So my weapon for my mech is Big Bone, what has shrapnel in it.
Yes.
Which is a big, pointy, heavy bone with spurs and junk sticking out of it. I really like the language there. So I also have yuck guts, which means that this big bone, what has shrapnel in it, is actually in my guts and can just pop out as needed.
That's horrifying.
That allows me.
It's so funny. I'm so a nerd to this now. I was like, yeah, that sounds very sensible. Yeah, useful.
So that allows me to roll Viscera instead of Corpus for a smash attack.
You can do all of the above. I should mention that the brawl counter is, I believe, as high as it.
So you might as well spend
it. The specific move that somebody should do is finish them. So that is just you add brawl to it, and the degree of success says whether somebody is just straight up dead.
Okay. Let me see.
Let me double check that +3 is in fact as high as brawl goes.
+3 I think is as high as anything else in the system goes. So
yeah, pretty sure.
So just roll a standard 2 dice.
If you want to be the one to try the finisher, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I really like those meaty arms. So I rolled 2 4s, which brings me to 8, 11, which is
that is highest degree of success.
That is quite successful.
Whatever arms are not beautifully touched by the bright currently, I seize hold of with my many limbs and rip.
The sound is sickening. The amount of blood is impressive. And what actually happens is that you fully bisect the mech. Grabbing by the arms, it pulls out through the middle, and because he was plugged into the nerve spike, the bartender actually is bisected as well. He is about as dead as anybody's ever been.
What a wonderful
around
turn of
me
phrase.
Just hear Viz laughing, which comes
ball-
up more of a wet squelching than a human laugh.
Violent Dancer's flowers are giggling as well.
The good news is that this is going extremely well. There's one weasel mech in absentia and one still writhing on the ground. The bad news is this fight definitely seems to have caught the attention of someone. Someone is coming from the general direction of the convention center. A little hard to say who or how many just yet. Robert might know. Robert? Yeah. Otherwise things are going good. So we have a writhing weasel mech. We have a hole where the other one used to be.
I'm going to take a cop arm in one of my tentacles and use it as a flail to be able to reach down to hit Tweedledum or Weaseldum in the pit.
Sure. Okay. This is a smash move, so you're going to roll and add your corpus to it.
And my corpus is +2. That is an 8 becomes a 10.
All right, that'll do just fine. So you can actually hold 3 from the smash list if you don't have that handy. And again, these are just examples. If you have some fun idea, John, I'm dropping into the chat some of the things you could do. You could kill something weaker than a mech outright. There isn't really anything in it to do that, though. You could set up an opportunity for one of your gang members. We didn't really do gangs or crews. But for let's say for another player to roll advantage on their next move, you could land a hit on an enemy like a mech. You could not get hit another time, or you could smash something inanimate the fuck up. These are the examples.
So I think I would like to spend all 3 holds. One to land a hit on Weaseldum with the cop arm. 1 to hold for not getting hit, and 1 to smash something inanimate the fuck up. Namely, I will now proceed to bury Weaseldum in the pit that he is in.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah, so the brawl counter is at 1. Weaseldum has been buried. You do not have kill confirmation since there was no over-the-top finishing move. Burying a mech alive is not considered over-the-top in this context. But presumably Weaseldum is out of the picture
for a moment,
moment at the very least. Yeah. And you don't get hit back. You can feel Weaseldum swiping at the cop arm, and the cop arm itself probably takes some damage. But
sure.
It does not.
But, how many people can say that they've puppeted a cop arm?
Not as many as would be ideal. That's certainly the case. But we aim to change that around here. Radagonda,
So by my count, there's the one that's hallucinating a bunch of blood that hasn't been interacted with yet.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. They haven't been able to do anything, but they are on the field and presumably will eventually realize that reality is not composed completely of blood. Hasn't happened
eventually.
There's just so much blood.
There's just so much blood.
So again, because I really like the way this system is written, I want to read parts of it that I have copy and pasted onto my character sheet. So my weapon for my mech is hatchet limbs. Your arms and legs can mold into horrible axes and break shit up. You can use these to latch on to the nearby environment instead of attacking on your turn to keep yourself stable if you might otherwise fall or reach something your mech otherwise couldn't. Tags near. They just have to be close enough to you to use. So I think that what this looks like, so I have my mech has 4 limbs. Violent Dancer has 2 arms and 2 legs that are interchangeable. And all of them have hatchet limbs. So I think there's sort of like a pinwheel motion here as I go to try and use my hatchet limbs on the freaking out. What was that? Weasel D?
Yeah.
I think it was Weasel D.
Yeah, who is freaking out. Which I think is just a straight up attack. Smash, if you will. which is plus corpus.
It is.
Which I don't think is my best thing in the world, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let me roll that. Not great. 5 net for corpus on that.
I think maybe we don't increase the brawl counter.
Sure.
Case, if you don't get at least 7.
No particular effect there. I just windmill showily and don't do a lot. Apparently.
Sure. You windmill showily. It does thrash back at you, albeit not in a particularly effective way. Do me a favor and do another roll real quick. Roll, give me 2 dice and roll plus viscera. But actually, you know what? Roll 3 dice. Give me the highest 2. Roll with advantage since your opponent is writhing on the ground.
And plus viscera, that's an 8 plus 1 is 9.
All right. So you do get scratched, but it's nothing serious. Your mech takes a status called fingernail marks, which is nothing serious. Generally, light scratches will probably heal itself pretty quickly. But your hit was not especially successful, and you took a little scratch in the meantime.
But the important part is that it was a showy move that Olivia and Robert both saw.
That is the most important thing. Those windmills. They are, for the record, duly impressed. Olivia, Kay, and Robert all step forward, and they all begin just sort of stomping and kicking the weasel D that is on the ground. They seem to have taken care of that one, which is good because the rest of the party seems to have arrived. There appear to be several more mechs, some of which have weasel-like features that appear to have been added on later. These were clearly mechs that were more humanoid, and then someone has added a claw, a nose, a tail, fangs, not necessarily in the places you would expect.
They're fash furries.
Oh, God.
Terrifying.
It's too horrible to contemplate. They're approaching, and they seem to have brought a cop with them. The cops are not out in force, but one of these is clearly another cop mech. Whether they're on duty or off, you couldn't say. But you have three apparent fash furries. I got those words out, and I'm proud of myself for it, as well as one cop mech who are approaching. I will say that the stomp that your NPC companions have undergone has raised the brawl counter again, so you're back at +2 as this new threat approaches.
Dope.
Would this be another instance where those clicky nerves kick in?
Yeah, once we, yeah, exactly. Whatever happens next, you do your thing first. Weaseldom is somewhere deep underground. Who knows? Meat World alone knows at this point. Weasel D is being stomped by
Weaseldom has returned to the meat.
And ashes to ashes, meat to meat.
I helped.
You did. You inspired all of your companions.
I'm a great figurehead.
You absolutely are.
I am apparently the strong and silent type. I'd only planned for the silent.
The fact that you're the heavy is incredible. It's a lovely emerging thing. So these 3 new weasels and this one cop are approaching. The cop is lumbering coppishly, but the weasels, notably, the weasel-like mechs, although they're not physiologically the same, right? Remember, they just have weasel-like features grafted onto other kinds of mechs. They are moving in something approaching perfect unison. They seem to sort of fight as one, or at least move as one. That might be something you'd notice.
I hate that.
That's a fair thing. That's a fair reaction.
So I think because of clicky nerves, Viz gets to go first.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah. I'm going to smash with my guts that are also a bone what has shrapnel in it.
God, I hate that so much.
It's viscerally bad. Sorry, that sounds like it's statistically relevant. But yes, please do roll.
Yes. I got an 11 with the dice alone.
No, wow.
Damn. Okay.
Viscera, that's lucky number 13.
Jesus Christ. By which you mean anything but.
Yeah, off the charts good is where we're at. Who are you targeting with this smash move?
So I get hold 3.
You get 2 hold 3. Yes, you're right. Yes.
So I'm I'm obviously going to prime one for not getting hit. And I just feel like really messing up some cups. So I am going to land a hit on the cop mech. And then also set up an opportunity. Who's going next?
I would like to go next if that's permissible.
Yes. So I will set up an opportunity for Brad.
Sounds good. I was wrong, by the way, that William has a speed thing as well. It's more of a dodgy, bad things that could happen are less likely to happen to you for weird witchy reasons.
And also mech construction reasons. I am a dodge tank.
All of the above. And bless you for it. So yes, so Radagata going next makes sense. What is it you're trying to do to this cop exactly?
So with my retractable bone, what has shrapnel in it that protrudes from my glistening guts.
Des is in physical pain.
No, I am in metaphysical pain.
That's fair.
Because everything I do is at least a little bit
point.
meta.
How many arms does this one have?
This cop has only 2 beefy arms, but they're quite beefy.
And just give me a bit of a description about the mech again, just to refresh my memory here.
Sure, yeah. So there are very prominent corporate logos. The same logo you saw earlier for the richest man in the world's company on the bicep of each mech. These look like if Rob Liefeld drew a mech, this is how it would look. The chest is impossibly large. The feet don't quite look right. It is again a parody of the sort of triangular bodybuilder, not especially functional,
useless Dorito,
entirely masculine frame.
Useless,
yeah,
Dorito.
Sort of a useless Dorito of a mech.
The natural thing for me to smash are the legs because they skip leg day. So I want.
And you mean to take full advantage? Sure.
I'm going to make. I'm going to take full advantage of the Dorito shape and go for the weakest point here, as much as the corporate logos cause me to cringe.
Sure. The legs also have logos on them, to be fair.
I'm good. I aim for those.
Yeah. Okay, you aim directly for the logos. One of the legs cracks or snaps sickeningly. Some serious damage was done, and this cop mech falls over and catches himself with one of his impractical hands
in a bad one-armed push-up.
In a very bad one-armed push-up. And yeah, that leg is bent in a way that makes it seem unlikely he'll be using it soon. It was a good hit, and you don't get hit in turn because you used a hold for that.
So, brawl at +3. Remind me precisely what that means.
It means that it would be... Brawl cannot go any higher.
Okay.
If one of them gets a lick in on you, it could go lower.
Sure.
But with Brawl at +3, it's a pretty good time to attempt an over-the-top finisher and take somebody off the board.
And you're rolling with advantage.
Plus Brawl there.
So it's a very good time to try and just... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what does plus Brawl mean? That's not on my
it's a stat instead of plus.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So
I mean, it just means you add 3.
Okay,
so.
I gotcha.
So you can attempt a finisher at any time. Your odds are just better if the brawl meter is higher.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So here's a question. My mech has the trait 1,000 Fingers. Verbatim quote. Your gross ass hands or whatever you have that accounts for them are built to do 2 things at once. Roll for each thing if applicable. Can both of those be finished them?
Yeah, you would. So I would say the extra thing you might get out of it is that your over the top finisher might be especially spectacular. It could impress your friends. It could seduce your paramours. It could confound your enemies, etc.
But
should you pull it off?
But it couldn't necessarily target 2 mechs for finish them.
I suspect that would probably have to be a
No.
+3 and a +0.
I see.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Okay.
We could say that on some spiritual level you have killed this guy twice.
Okay. Well, I want to do this because it's the only opportunity I'm likely to have to get a nerve on the table and trigger a magician slime,
Sure.
which I was very excited to put on my character sheet.
Quite important. Yeah.
Because I'm that fucking weirdo.
Hey now,
but
that's literally my playbook.
Granted.
If it wasn't
Exactly.
if it wasn't called Dice Punks, it could be called those fucking weirdos. Yeah,
So if I'm doing 2 things at once with Thousand Fingers and I'm using finish them on the cop mech, how am I going to go about, like, do I do something else to a different mech, or do I also do finish them to a different mech, or do I do 2 finish thems to the same mech? How are you going to interpret this, GM?
I'm going to interpret this as you are doing finish them to the mech of your choosing, presumably the cop mech. But you can also
Have a hit or
Get
something
an-
on another one.
have a hit on an additional
Okay.
mech. So you could achieve something. We'll talk about the physicality of this and how it works. Whether it's the shrapnel of your fallen and extremely dead foe hitting them or whatever, the other approaching weasel trio could also get hurt.
All right, so I'm going to roll finish them first, and then presumably maybe roll smash after that.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So 4 finish them. Rolling. God damn it. A 4 and a 1 for 5, but brawl is at 3, so that brings it to an 8.
Hey, okay. So I am reminding myself with that
Complication, I think.
zone of
7 to
success
9, your
wounds. I
move
think
leaves
so.
you open to an attack by another enemy if there are any.
Gotcha. Okay, so that actually works out just fine. So you first of all you succeed. So tell me about how you ice this.
You uncop the cop.
So,
Yeah.
as I've mentioned before, arms and legs are interchangeable on Violent Dancer, and I sort of...
I believe you said Violent Dancer, which is not wrong, but yeah.
Yes, no, that is the name of my mech, Violent Dancer.
Okay, I thought it was Violet for some reason. Both are extraordinary, and I withdraw my comment. Please continue.
Apologies for any problems in enunciation before this, but yes,
You're all good.
Violent Dancer is the name of my mech, and I was so proud of it that I didn't want to keep it secret. Not that in setting anybody necessarily has heard me say it. In any case, I sort of do what could be described as a lavish cartwheel with my hatchet limbs, all 4 of them, over this cop mech, presumably to borrow a phrase from the Duckfeed TV host Cole Ross, cutting them in half the easy way. Which is to say, side to side rather than up to down.
Sure. This is not a 50-50 split due to the aforementioned skipping of leg day.
Of course,
but yes,
yeah.
the cop is bisected.
And
Please,
this could potentially open me up to a hit from the other 2 mechs. But I would like to do my 2 things at once with Thousand Fingers to smash one of the other 2 mechs. So I'm going to roll plus corpus for that currently.
Sounds good.
Which is unfortunately -1. But I have rolled a 6 and a 5, so that comes out to a 10.
So that'll do just fine.
For that smash. And let's see. You know what? For giggles, because it will trigger Magician Slime. It's not technically a nerve roll, so let me know if this is permissible. But Magician Slime says was per session you can reroll a single die after making a nerve roll. Can I re-roll my 5 on that 11 just to trigger this?
You can. You may end up with a lower number.
You know what? I'm going to be okay with that because I'm at 10 right now.
Yeah. Cool. Go for it.
So that lowers my roll to a 9, but I do get covered in Magician Slime as a result.
Would you like me to describe Magician Slime?
I would love if you described Magician Slime.
Okay, as I may have mentioned, there are several possible ways this could have gone. I am picking one at semi-random now. You are covered in a viscous, head to toe, I should note, and on a mech scale head to toe, as well as within the mech. The chamber does not flood in a way that would harm you, but you, as well as the mech, are covered in a mostly translucent goop with many colors in it, but dark colors, like a goth oil slick. It phosphoresces slightly, it moves, it seems to breathe almost. It seems to mean you no harm, but it also seems never to mean to leave you.
I could not be happier. So with a 10, I get to hold 3.
That is true. I'm going to say, because you specifically opened yourself up to a hit on the last roll, I'm going to disallow don't get hit, but the rest is fair game.
Sure. So I'm going to land a hit on an enemy about your size, like a mech.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that one on the other mech as well? The other weasel mech as well?
Sure. Let's say yes.
And
there are
my
3
third
weasel
one,
mechs.
There are three weasel mechs moving in
sure,
in
yeah.
tandem.
So 2 of those get a hit landed on them. And then for my third one, I'm going to set up an opportunity for one of my gang members, specifically Bill, to roll with advantage on his next move.
It's all going quite well, I must say. So you do what sorts of hits are you trying to land on the two weasels?
So I've cartwheeled all
like?
4 of my hatchet limbs across the cop mech, bisecting it the easy way. And as I sort of like land in an action pose, the 2 limbs functioning as arms are up, and then they both chop down into the neck regions of 2 of the weasel mechs as like a dramatic pose, because what's the point of being goth if you're not going to strike dramatic poses every once in a while, right?
Yeah, no, here, very much so. So I think the brawl went back to 0 when you killed the cop.
Uh-huh.
It's now back at +1.
Yes.
They do, however, have the chance to hit you back. Your blades sink into their neck meat, but they don't sink very deeply before their arms stop you. And what happens next will depend on a take a hit roll. So I do need one more roll from you. That'll be plus viscera.
Plus viscera. All right. I have rolled 2 4s for an 8, and my viscera is 1, so that's a 9.
All right. So you weather it. You do take a mech status, though. So what happens
One moment.
is, yes?
I also have on my mech... I'm loving this, by the way. Good at
incredible.
knives.
It's so
Once
good.
per
That's
brawl,
right.
ignore a hit caused by melee weapons by describing how you fended off like a ninja turtle.
Well, the bad news is I am utterly failing to challenge you in any way, but the good news is I get to hear what this Ninja Turtle move looks like, so please
So
proceed.
I have plunged my hatchet limbs not as deeply as I would like into the necks of 2 of these weasel mechs, and upon seeing one of them retaliate, I hop backwards slightly and cross my limbs in a Dragon Ball Z style block. And instead of impacting my mech's body, the hit impacts my crossed arms, and I slide back on what are currently serving as my mech's feet by a few yards, digging furrows into the dirt or concrete or whatever, and looking really cool while I do it.
Please note that we also had a reenactment of this.
If the sound was at all strange, it was because Adam did in fact animate.
This was in fact physically demonstrated.
It was.
I give my all.
Very good. Very, very good. The weasel mechs, in addition to being harmed, are terrified of what has just happened. Because the 3 of you are terrified.
I
Indeed.
bare my glowing teeth and say, fight without coordination.
Their arms raise up, and the ones that have things recognizable as fingers or as claws separate them and then bring them back together along an imaginary path as though they're counting rosary beads. It seems physically painful for them to uncoordinate. They try. They genuinely do. They still seem to move as one, but they don't move in sync. They have a plan, but they cannot execute it together.
Perfect. Does that count as my move, or can I also attack?
It's a good question. Let's say that was your attack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. They are definitely disturbed by what is currently happening. We're actually going to say that the brawl counter is back at 0 because your NPCs have finished off a weasel at the moment. If you were to look over, you would really just see an awful stain of, well, awful, just a whole bunch of
Weasel grease
goo where there once was a mess. Weasel grease, if you will. If you will, and I wish you wouldn't. But I have a feeling you will.
You should have known that things like this were going to come up, given my description of William.
In episode 0, we used the phrase neck meat, so this was always going to go downhill.
Weasel Grease is the logical sequel to Neck Meat.
It's true. It's Weasel, the long-awaited sequel to Neck Meat. Weasel, from the creators of Neck Meat. For the first time in quite some time, your adversaries speak. Not in unison, but in sort of a shattering, chittering, overlapping attempt at unison, because they've been scrambled by Billiam. You hear one or all of the weasels say, look, maybe we could talk instead of, whatever all of this is, maybe, maybe.
Okay. Swift table talk. I have no way of communicating this to you guys in real time, but as a player, what I really want is for someone, whoever goes next, to say, we'll let you live if you yell at the top of your lungs, trans women are women 10 times.
And then they melt into puddles. For the record, meatmechs do typically have radios, so you could communicate with each other if you wanted to. That's in fact how they're speaking to you.
Okay,
they're not just shouting through the neck meat, if you will, of their mechs.
But it's also like not super my turn, so I don't want to.
If that's the move, that move can be the move. But it's among the three of you, whether you're willing to negotiate at all, and if so, whether that's the negotiation. That's up to you.
Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
I think it's probably Viz's.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It is, because it was their turn and they used it to attempt détente. So yeah, it is now Viz's turn.
So you kind of get to decide what you want to do there. I don't think I try to convince you to do anything over the radio.
Viz only definitely goes first if a move is being made, right? Because of the clicky nerves.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Viz is the fastest, all things being equal.
This is not one for talking.
I had noticed.
In this case, anyway, I was not intending for them to be as silent as they have been, but when it comes to smashing fashes, I think they are all action, no talk. That said, there is a nice little feature to smash if I pull it off. So once again, with a horrible glorping sound, the bone what has shrapnel sloshes through, and from their guts.
The Yiddish flourish of schloshes was just.
I can't even say this with a straight face. I want to smash one of the one that spoke slightly first. I want to smash and their weasel face. Just a straight boop.
Sure.
You want to boop their snoot through the rest of their skull?
Yes, like reverse it, like force it through the back.
The goal is to invert the weasel face so that you have a concave impression of a weasel face.
A lasso, as it were.
Indeed.
Bop it.
Sure. Roll. Give me a roll and go plus corpus. I'm going to also say, you know what? Roll with advantage because they were attempting to talk to you and are definitely not expecting this.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll my third die. Let it be known that I had a 4 and a 3 because I can roll Viscera. That would have put me at a 9. Honestly, it's going to be a 4 and so 9.
9. Okay. So you do attack. You're gonna hold 2 here.
Yeah. Ooh. So I'm kind of torn between. Would this set me up for like a counter hit?
It would, yeah. Under normal circumstances, I mean, you rolled with advantage. You got the drop. You will definitely score a nice juicy hit, but particularly because there are 3 of them, you would be opening yourself up for retaliation.
Damn. Okay. The smart thing to do would be to spend one of my holds on don't get hit, and then of course land a hit on the weasel whose face I am currently punching in.
But
that's the smart thing, and therefore you're doing it, or there's a but in that sentence?
Oh, I am absolutely trying to send their snoot through the back of their skull.
Okay.
The but was a silent sadness of the fact that I could not set up.
you could, if you want
Sure.
to just, take a hit.
Take a hit. Okay. You know what? I do have a move that helps with when I'm a little bit beat up. So I'm going to take a hit and set up an opportunity for I think who's next?
Probably Rad.
Either one of us.
Yeah, let's
I think.
say Rad.
Okay.
Yeah. That way you can let them know the circumstances of their life.
All right. So here's what happens. The brawl counter, let it be said, is back at +1 because the fight is once again officially in your favor now that there is once again officially a fight. You do not literally physically turn the snoot concave, but if this were a cartoon, that is what
It accordions?
It accordions. There is a weasel-like snout on this one, and it is thoroughly broken. It is unrecognizable as the snout it used to be. There is a splay of bone. That bone, however, strangely, forms a claw and attempts to grab your fist. This is the retaliatory move, is that the bone claw where the weasel snout used to be is apparently razor sharp and is attempting to fight back.
How crab-like is this claw? How crab-like is this claw?
On a scale of not at all crab-like to literally a crab, probably in the dead center of the number one.
All right.
Yeah. Also, it is a bone what has shrapnel in it, as opposed to a fist. Just for clarity.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I said fist. So what the claw is actually doing is grabbing at your bone what has shrapnel in it. So this is probably relatively unlikely to injure you, but could sort of hold you in place. Do me a favor and roll and then add viscera so we can figure out how that take a hit element is going to work.
That is the noise the mech makes.
I hope not.
A 9. So 5, 2, and then 2 viscera.
So you are in fact held in place. Your bone, what has shrapnel in it, is grabbed by this claw thing. That mech can do little else since it's holding you with its face. It's a little bit, it's a bit out of the picture. The other weasels, for what it's worth, are quite surprised, or weaseloids, and they are definitely open to additional hits. They are, by the way, you can't tell which one is coming through the radio. It may still be all 3 of them, still sort of pleading for détente. It's like, I don't know what you think this is. We're not fash. We're not. Were those guys fash? I didn't even know. I just support our police officers.
How do we explain to them that the Venn diagram is in fact a circle?
I believe, if I interpreted the previous round correctly, with my hatchet limbs, is how we explain that.
You've not said a word to Robert, by the way, who may know where these guys have come from, and
True.
I'm going to say
fighty.
It has all been fighty. It has all been fighty. I'm not trying to talk you out of murdering these guys. I'm pointing out the degree to which we've been speaking with hatchet limbs and bones would have shrapnel in them as opposed to words.
Fair enough.
That's your prerogative.
Okay. So, I believe that one of Viz's holds went to giving me advantage on my next move.
Correct.
Okay. So, let's see. What's our brawl at?
Plus one. You could attempt to finish her. It would just be a little riskier than...
But I do have advantage on it because it's my next move.
That is true.
Okay.
That is totally true.
Can I... Okay, well, it's not really a 1,000 fingers thing because I don't need my fingers to talk.
Thank you for clarifying.
That's my deal.
But can I say something while I do a finish them? Are those okay? Those two things are not mutually exclusive. So okay, whichever of the weaseloids just got its face partially caved in, I would like to attempt to hatchet limb its head off from its body. While I say something like, "Look, y'all attacked us, and I don't know what you think fash is, but you kind of just hit the donkey on the nose, if you will." Getting my metaphors extremely mixed. So I'm going to roll finish them with advantage for that.
Sounds good.
Metaphor.
Boy, so here's the thing. My two normal D6s rolled a 6 and a 1, and my advantage D6 rolled a 6. But my viscera, which I believe... No, the brawl, plus 1. So I have a 13 on my finish them.
Very nice.
Which also triggers my mech option of Bloodthirsty Thirsty Blood, which is a great name for a skill. On a 12 plus result on finish them, resolve 1 mech status. So my fingernail scratch mech status will go away as I presumably thirsty blood up.
You polish your mech in blood.
Yeah. And my mech recovers by slurping blood from the finish them that I
delicious
two-hand or leggedly do on the weaseloid that Viz had begun to finish as I lecture them on what fash means. Because, as it turns out, Radaganda did not enjoy holding back while looking for Olivia.
I'm getting that impression.
Yeah.
So you've got a decapitated weaseloid on your hands. When the head is separated from the body, the shrapnel, what has a bone in it, is released.
Actually, can I just is it safe for me to just take it back into my gut so that there's a trophy on the end of the shrapnel that has bone in it?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's say you do that before it releases fully, and you now have a trophy. The body sloughs over. The other two weasels say in failed unison, "The fuck!" And to whatever degree they still can, break and run.
For my part, and I know it's not my move, but just as a getting it out there for other people, I am pretty content to let them run away here. And just sort of preen over it. Incorporate that as you will into...
I will, as they flee, glow teeth at them. Flee and do not return.
The glossolalia takes over as they're fleeing, and as loud as my glowing mech pulsates sickening red light in their direction, I just say, "Ia, abattoir for Targan. Ia, abattoir for Targan."
Whether
they were... Yeah,
I was gonna say whether I hear it or not, I probably sway in the rhythm to that chant.
Point of order, Viz, and I am saying this out loud, so Drew assess things as needed. Is that some Cthulhu shit?
The noodle swingy head thing attached to my mech just swivels over and stares at you with blank eyes, having no idea what
H.P.
Cthulhu
Lovecraft?
is.
Kind of extremely racist existential horror author?
A few limbs just twitch.
Well, this hallucination has gone to
although
even weirder places than usual.
racism and existential horror both definitely exist. Cosmic horror too in Meat World, but Lovecraft not so much. So,
I will probably respond to Bill's statement that this hallucination has gone a little bit weirder than usual with a patient sounding, Bill, I keep trying to tell you you're not hallucinating. Vancouver's just weird.
That's probably going to clue Kay in that I am in fact from Vancouver.
Yeah, your compatriots. Oh, you're from there. Oh, I got questions for you. Questions, and I don't expect answers if I'm perfectly honest.
Okay.
So, at the various invocations, the two remaining weasels who had been headed back toward the Reagan Center break and turn directly toward the beach, and they seem to run into the sea.
Beautiful.
Best possible outcome, really.
What happens next? You couldn't
They
say.
become beach.
There seems to be
Or crabs.
There seems to be no more.
They
There seems to be
become
no
beef.
more immediate danger, which is strange actually, because at least two of the mechs that you have utterly destroyed in fairly spectacular fashion were at least cop adjacent. There doesn't seem to be anyone else coming. You're not sure where they might be instead, since you've been focused on the fight.
I take sort of a deep breath, both personally and through Violent Dancer, and then sort of slump down and do a little bit of Kermit arms with my mech. It's extremely upsetting to look at if I get to determine that.
I'm not sure you have the option for it not to be.
Fair
actually.
enough. Fair enough.
Bill watches this and just like it's, anthropologically, like it's some sort of deeply upsetting interpretive dance.
Viz joins in with the dance, but with a lot more crunch and wet.
Bill will try to join in, but it's like...
So I try to finish it off by giving a high five to each of them with either of whatever limbs.
You get a
at the
wet
moment.
tentacular slap in response.
I'm perfectly satisfied with that. And turn toward Olivia and Kay and go, that was really satisfying. What now?
I will turn to Robert and like, hi, thanks for helping us. Who are you?
At which point I spin around and go, oh, right, thank you.
Wait, Radaganda?
In the flesh.
What the fuck? What the fuck? In a lot of flesh, a lot of weird, crazy flesh. What?
I did not know you were here, but thanks.
Let me be real with you. I didn't know you were here. I was just trying to fight.
Yeah.
Just trying to find a fight.
Well, you did a great job for whatever it's worth. I really appreciate you pitching in.
Yeah, he's got hands, actually. You two know each other, though.
Oh, from a while back, but no hard feelings, right?
I mean, a lot of hard feelings, but I mean, they don't seem relevant to the current situation. How have you been? You still leaving a trail of emotional wreckage in your wake and stuff?
More or less, but less maybe actually than I used to. Maybe. Glancing backward, like back and forth.
Honestly, seems kind of Mother Duckish.
I point with a hatchet limb and 1,000 fingers at Bill.
Motherfucking duckish.
How have you been? I guess the last time I saw you was yeah.
Olivia steps forward, watching this with extreme interest.
I look at his name is Robert, right?
Yeah.
His name is Robert, yeah.
I look with air quotes. My head thing swivels towards Robert with its fixed black eyes. And then through the radio I say, you previously exchanged fluids?
Oh boy, no. Sorry. This is Viz. And that over there
Charmed.
is Bill.
Tentacular
do you know
wave.
Olivia and Kay?
I don't know Olivia and
Well, this
Kay.
is Olivia
No,
and Kay.
Hey.
Nice to see you again.
Hi.
And again, thanks for helping
you're
out.
asking. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I just kind of was spoiling for a fight. I think I joined a cult.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on over there, but it seems bad, and I kind of wanted out.
Well, congratulations on leaving a cult. That's generally a good sign.
Which one?
Yeah. Well. Well, you know how like it's hard to know when you're in a cult or if you're just in like a supportive group of cool people. But then when you notice that like a bunch of them are getting like brain implants from rat wolves to psychically link, and when they're like altering themselves to be weasel-like, you start to be like, maybe this is like expensive and weird.
Or judging you for summoning demons. I totally get it.
Yeah, total. Wait, what?
I will jump in at this point and be like, it's honestly so great to see you. I'm sorry about the cult thing, but I'm glad that you had the presence of mind to like, extricate yourself, and we really appreciate the backup. Right? Looking around to my other four companions as though hoping they'll step in.
You get the vague impression of nodding from the writhing mass of tentacles and tubes.
There is a clicking that resembles a thumbs up.
Oh, synesthetic body horror.
Wunderbar.
Kay with his many hands on their mech forms a heart, or rather a fractal series of hearts.
I love
that
this.
rise.
I do the mech version of the nose tap and point at Kay.
Well, this being a one shot, maybe this is sort of how things wind down. I think we all get out of our mechs. There is actually a move for this. I think toward the end of each session, everyone's got to decide whether they got closer to their mech or farther from it. This move is known as Harmonize.
I feel like I probably would have gotten closer. Right?
Since you all kicked an extreme amount of ass, closer seems likely.
Since I did a lot of directing people to do things with glowing hypnotic teeth.
Right, that.
I absolutely got closer to my mech.
This is the desired outcome. But desiring an outcome is a fine way not to get the desired outcome. Therefore, desire only. Desire.
You're going to have to elaborate on that one later on.
With pleasure.
So, looking at Harmonize, you decide whether to increment sinew by up one or down one.
Yeah, this obviously matters more if we're doing a full campaign.
Sure.
But I thought it seemed like a good moment of reflection as everyone gets out of their mechs.
Indeed.
Or it doesn't.
Yeah. For me, I do get out of my mech, but I increment sinew by +1 because I did good.
Yeah.
You did real good, kid.
And I feel like, hang on, there was another thing on here, a move, I believe. Boy, where is the part of my character sheet? Because there's one that's like, take it to the next level, I think, a heart move.
Good call.
I'm going to spend one of my wizard holds when it's convenient, because I haven't yet, and I might as fucking well.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask the GM a question for an NPC. Namely, is Robert into dudes?
Not exclusively, but primarily. Yes.
Would he be interested in a drink? This is not a compelled answer.
If there's no one in the room who looks like a weasel, there's nothing he would want more.
Wonderful, that can be arranged.
Perfect. I was also going to say that the heart move, take it to the next level, reads, at the end of a session, if you and another player both agree your relationship has transcended a new boundary, you each take +1 love with each other. It can be platonic, romantic, sexual, or any other kind of love for one another. And it feels like I probably trust Bill more than I did at the start of the session.
Yeah.
But that is...
And Bill is definitely like, yeah, Red is definitely looking out for me here, even though she's under the weird impression that this is not a hallucination.
Yeah, so I feel like that probably, applies here. And so my love for Bill goes up to -1.
And I am at +3.
Aw.
Aw.
Not that, again, it matters for a one-shot in mechanical terms, but it feels relevant.
It does
and
feel good
for
and
what
relevant.
it's worth, I don't know how well this actually works necessarily, but I am probably trying to get both Olivia and Kay to join me for a drink, because that's just how I fucking roll, man.
There is it a just declaration of catching feelings, or is there a move for it, or how does that all work?
There are a couple of ways that it can go, honestly. But most of the ones I have on my character sheet are actually for gear.
I was mostly specifying
but-
at Drew for character PC declarations of catch feelings with and or for NPCs, as seems to be the case for both of us here.
Yeah, it's something you can just declare. It's not guaranteed that they will reciprocate or respond favorably, but yeah, it's just something you can do. There isn't really a
Right.
role.
It'd be weird
So-
if there
so
were a
the-
role, so yeah.
The bottom line is that the bar presumably starts to kind of drift back toward its prior self.
I would probably
I,
throw my other wizard hold at, like, magicking that more so, yes.
Right, and my impulse would be to try and essentially schmooze our old and new friends, because that's just how I roll.
Would it be fair to say then, with the exception of Viz, everyone has paired or trioed off, and you go back to see the state of things in the bar?
More
Seems
or less
like.
for me.
As you enter, distinction seems to have come back just a bit more. These don't seem entirely like people, but they seem on their way to recovery. As you enter, you can hear music. You can see that the booze has become more distinct, perhaps more flavorful. You will, of course, have to serve yourself, you think. However, at that moment, the magician slime, still covering Radaganda, sloughs off and forms a perfect, shapely facsimile of Radaganda, but moving independently. It becomes liquid again, slips under the bar, then slips back up and begins wordlessly serving drinks. You don't know how long the magician slime homunculus will last, but certainly long enough to grab a few.
Well, I certainly can't stop smiling, and I may attempt to kiss the bartender at some point.
When you do, it feels strangely right. You end up with a bit of magician slime on your lips, which then forms into a tiny Radaganda, which sits on your shoulder.
This is the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I say so repeatedly.
I will, as I said, spend my other wizard hold to, if you will permit it, continue returning specificity to the bar and the people within it, mostly to make sure that none of them are weaseloid.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is, as you hang out, there are, let's say, 2 additional Weasloids, uncommitted Weasloids. One is asked to leave and simply does so. The other takes a punch from one of the other people to whom specificity is returning. No further incident is really required, and some of the people begin to be intelligible. They thank you.
Of course.
Order around.
The magician slime facsimile enthusiastically agrees, and some magician slime plops onto the ceiling and then down onto the bar, and there is now another tiny Radaganda who joins the band on stage.
This is literally my dream come true, and I say so. uh,
Viz, what are you up to?
While they are making merriment inside, I am going to once again turn my attention to the bright and all the mysteries that it holds.
You cannot see the bright as you're inside, but you somehow can see the bright. The bright is infinite, the bright is mysterious, the bright, like an infinite refraction of magician slime Radagundus, contains multitudes and multiple versions of itself. You feel a weird peace. Since you do feel closer to your mech, you feel farther from the version of yourself you're not comfortable being, and you feel a little closer, perhaps infinitesimally, but meaningfully closer to the person, the thing, the existence that you want to be for yourself.
Yay.
So, yeah, Robert is feeling extremely awkward, but he's hanging out. Kay buys the next round, and Olivia thanks you for coming. And Fourth Wall Break apologizes for not playing as large a role in the story as the plan originally was. This has been a very successful day.
This has been a delight.
I
Bill makes
enjoyed
sure
this
that
so
Robert
much.
doesn't feel as awkward as he seems to be. Probably also by being a little bit awkward because he's 19. And in what he thinks is a hallucination.
Robert, once he notices Small Arthur, never takes his eyes off.
Aww.
Again, as far as I am concerned, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
Presumably, there's still a conference outside. Presumably, it's full of weird weasel people. Presumably, something terrible might go down. The world is still full of problems. The world is still full of cops and fash. The nature of the bright remains unknown even to its devotees. The world is out of joint, but here, right now, things have become not just marginally, but significantly better. And that's worth a hell of a lot.
What would my life coach say about this?
Change is important, but importance, too, is a form of change. Therefore, seek not change for the sake of change, but only importance for the sake of change.
I wish I could hear this.
I think that's
a good closer.
No.
That's a wrap.
And that will conclude the session of Dice Punks.
That will conclude this session of Dice Punks. Thank you for listening to another episode of Dice Punks. This show can be found everywhere podcasts dare to exist. And as to the wider web, you can find us on Twitter at DicePunks, or you can look us up at dicepunks.com. I will note one more time that you can pre-order Extreme Meatpunks Forever, the tabletop role-playing game, over at meatpunksrpg.com. And if you'd like to hear more about the game, I would go so far as to direct you to my interview with Heather Flowers and Belle over on my other podcast, Everybody's Talking at Once. You can find that by searching Everybody's Talking at Once, wherever you're listening to this, or wherever else podcasts continue to dare to be, or at etaopod.com. But back to the subject at hand, if you enjoyed your dice punking time and you would like to entirely voluntarily, of course, throw us a little bit of money, you can do so at patreon.com/dicepunks. Patreonizers get a whole parallel show, an after show called Dice Peaks, where we talk about what just happened, whether that's a victory lap or aftercare or something in between. I think maybe that's all I have to say, so say goodbye to our dear listeners, dear players.
Goodbye, and, flirt with your friends. What harm could it do?
Thanks for listening, folks. And if you find yourself in what you're sure is a hallucination, just roll with it. Again, what's the worst that could happen?
We appreciate you listening, and be your authentic self, no matter how strange the rest of the world may find it.
Oh, yeah.
You're fucking here. And as the poet wrote, Jesus said turn the other cheek, but he isn't here right now.
Thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in. and stick around through the admin stuff for Viz's life coach teasing a follow-up episode. The songs in this episode, Mastita and the acoustic version of the theme of the Dice Punks, were written and recorded by the game meatster himself, Drew. Cover artist by Joanne, who has appeared on the podcast now and again. Check out her work around the internet where she goes by anything so's. Site design and graphics for dicepunks.com are by Robin, the player behind Viz, the Carmen Bright Child. Extreme Meatpunks Forever is by Heather Flowers and Belle, and can be pre-ordered at meatpunksrpg.com. Give it some thought, we certainly had fun with it. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, that's reward enough on its own, but if you're so inclined, you can help us out by rating and reviewing us wherever you listen to us, telling your friends who you think would like us to give us a listen, or even by heading over to our Patreon at patreon.com/dicepunks. There are fun rewards there available to backers, including a patron-only Discord and access to Dice Peak's after show for episodes 1 and following. Regardless, we hope you'll tune in again, and until then, remember, subtlety is for cowards, so as the Meatpunks say, be gay, pilot mechs, and kill Nazis.
When is a one-shot not a one-shot? A mechanic yet unexplored, a plot thread left dangling, a world whose more dangerous depths remain thrillingly unplumbed. None of these can, in itself, undo the oneness of the one-shot. But a desire to return and see these blanks filled in joyously, that's another matter. If I were a betting man, though I am not betting, nor a man, nor an eye, I would bet that you've not seen the last of these punks.